discussing beer and bedlam. To talk the tavern. Music, medicine, then some. To talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
Ooh, and thank you, Toei, for appreciate that. It's messing around with OBS before the show. Yeah, so we got the countdown with some music, and Chuck, thanks for jumping in. That's exactly why we did it, to get your ass here, so you're here when we get rolling.
We want
asses.
your ass here.
We want your ass anywhere, big guy. You know, I've got.
We like asses, and we cannot lie.
That's right.
With butter.
With butter. Flather the buns. Just flatter them.
After hours.
After hours.
And for any of you that have no idea what the hell we're talking about, what we're talking about is our Thursday games on Andrea's channel. Make sure you join us for that. You were hoping for some twexting. What is that, like twerking on text? I don't even know what twexting is. Okay, let me.
You and your kids and your language.
I want to try
it. Ed will help. Okay, let me introduce myself. I am Travis. I am your host. Tonight, my vices are a little Stone IPA with lime. I think the lime will improve it. And then a Coke Zero with lime, because I think lime will improve it. And I'm going to be smoking some Cross-Eyed Cricket tonight with lime, because I think lime will improve it. And speaking of things that improve with lime, let me introduce you to Andrea. What's your vices tonight?
Oh, well, in my Superman pint glass, I have sweet tea. I have a container of nuts, because nuts.
I got one of those, too.
Love the nuts. And some Pocky strawberry, because it's the best.
Who's next, Andrea? Just pick somebody.
Speaking of nuts, which one?
I'm really curious which one you're going to go to in this one.
Okay. So, Elizabeth, what's your advice?
Tonight, hello everyone from New York on a hot, hellish day. I'm drinking my sweet fire tea, from my trusty Dick's ice water, and my other, I will confess to eating hummus and homemade squash chips.
Really?
See, your Dick's goes with my nuts.
Let's hope we don't squash them. Turn to hummus.
I'm going to need another beer.
Hi, Ed. What's your vices?
Yeah, the black man's got to be last tonight.
You're not last. We got Kevin.
Wine.
Oh, what's that?
Pinot Noir.
We just heard you do that already. What are you drinking now?
Yeah, that was just like a black guy.
Water. And caramel apple in the vape pipe here.
Oh, nice.
Let's do an opening toast. Here's to fuck you, other people.
Yeah.
Thank God these people are here.
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, the lime made it better. In case you're curious.
Coke Zero now.
You put the lime in the squirrel and you make it all better. The lime in the squirrel.
That's going to make it
It surprises it was it does.
You make it twirl.
Oh,
Squirkin'. Okay, I want to give a quick shout out to, I don't know if Jamin is here or not, but since I have last seen him, I have had a few things, such as postcards. This one here I'll hold up for everybody.
hi, Ian.
What up,
Hey,
Ian?
there's
Good
Ian.
to see you,
Good
brother.
We're just talking about postcards from Jamin. So this one here says, my doctor told me I'm getting older. I should install a bar in my shower. What do you think? So there's that there.
Oh, yeah. That looks just like mine.
That's and then the one I got today says, when you're down by the seal and an eel bites your knee, that's amore.
Oh my goodness.
So thank you, Jamin, for those. I do also want to let everybody know, don't forget, you guys got the notification earlier saying we're going on and now you're here, but not everybody gets notifications. So click that share button just below the screen. Let your friends
shit.
know who are still too slow to be with the rest of the social media world on Facebook that we're live, and on Twitter, so it could just shoot past in their scroll and they'll never even know you posted it. You're welcome. Oh, and subscribe. Are we done pimping stuff? Oh, we got a new merchandise button. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Zazzles. I can't see the screen when you sit there, kitty. I don't know. Let's see. I think I did this. Did I do this?
I don't know. What
No,
Do it again.
I did not do that. Can you lay down so I can see what the hell I'm doing, Ken?
Well, the
Well, all
merch
right. I don't think
shows
that's
up
gonna
every
help.
once in a while.
It does. I think I
With
set
all
it
the
for
other
every 30 minutes or something, but there it is.
What are you doing,
You
woman?
told him to lie down.
What the hell? Since when did she start going by Zazzles?
No. She's going with the doctor. Wants to prescribe a bar in the shower.
Hold on. It's Kevin.
Make in the house.
I got to change screens. Let's see how it worked out.
See, he's the last one because he's the bus wanker.
As always,
What's your
late
vices
to the
tonight,
party
Kevin?
as ever.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's your vices tonight?
My vices tonight are non-existent. I have literally walked in the door and I love you so much, I'd come rushing straight to my computer with not even a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Hence
Oh.
my attractive salmon pink shirt.
Do you wear undershirts?
No. God, no.
You could just take it off then. Undershirts are great. They absorb sweat. They regulate your body temperature.
I'm allowed
Oh, yeah.
to show
Oh,
chest.
alright.
But
Oh, yeah.
I think the Twitter rules still prohibit me from going as far as nipple, don't they?
No.
I'll go
no,
that
they
far
don't.
for you. How's
But
that?
That's just
They don't care?
I
They
love
changed it. It's all right.
the Goomba necklace right there.
My silver chain.
Can you do an Italian accent? Can you do like a New York Italian accent?
Don't you just need the letters A and O?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey! Oh!
Hey, Des.
You have to have the shirt on if you're going to stroke them erotically.
It's fine. See, look, nipples are below the webcam line.
no stroking allowed on camera.
Oh, you ruin all my fun, Ed.
maybe I'm not.
Hey,
Mine was just as well. Otherwise, we'd have had to speak camera by now.
Thanks, babe.
hey, Kevin.
T just opened the door and said, "Depends on who's stroking what." So.
Is she watching or is she just listening through the door?
She just listened through the door.
Yeah, she is.
Hands in frame at all times. Thank you, Toey. Appreciate the help.
Okay.
Toey's one of the moderators. She knows how to keep control of you guys.
Yes, she does.
Good luck with that.
Kev, can you zoom,
Travis.
Can you zoom out on your camera?
No, but I can sit further away from it.
You may want to do that because with the new Twitch frames, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Kevin already,
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how close you get in, you can't see any level on the camera.
I don't,
Just as well, because I am naked from the waist down.
Yeah, because you just came from work.
that's what I was picturing.
I just came after work as well, apparently.
Coming right now.
Yeah.
Hey, should I tell you guys about my dreams last night?
Oh my God.
I don't know, should you?
You
Probably,
might want to let him get a cup of coffee first.
probably not. We might want to wait for the third hour for them. Oh my God.
Somebody make a note. You want to hear about it, but it is third hour material. I already know what it is.
Much to Andrea's horror, I did let her know. Are you having fun, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
My, what pretty eyes you have. I like the way they sparkle with psychopathy.
I like the frames.
Yeah,
Isn't
see,
it great?
that's all thanks to
You
Andrea.
can't see what I'm doing now.
You're welcome.
See, Kevin, now that you have a camera on a wire, though, you can actually set it further. But yes, Ed?
Bob, you're a sick motherfucker, okay? You are one sick motherfucker.
I don't
Oh,
see
I'm
anything
missing Bob,
He just
Who?
sent me a picture. He's here.
Oh.
He's everywhere.
Who sent you a picture? What?
Gosh, that's hot. So, Kevin is nothing but eyeballs and forehead right now. Well, we need to get your camera like on a separate table across the room or something.
You know what we need?
I don't know.
Just give him a hat like your
Therapy.
beaker hat, so when you'll see the face.
That'd be good.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. Just put some Google eyes up there. You'll be alright.
He's got to lean in to read. He's hit that age.
I've got a pair of Google eyes right here.
Did you get a package recently?
No.
A long tube
Should I?
package?
No.
Yeah, you should.
You've been waving your package in my direction again.
Well, it's Travis's package.
Figures. Now I'm less surprised. No, not yet. Although allowing for the vagaries of international post, that'll be here anywhere from tomorrow until 2047. So.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Anybody have anything go on in the past 7 days that's worth talking about?
Nothing I want to talk about on air.
Yeah, actually, I do. Something kind of fun.
Oh, good.
You never know, with chemistry, change is the only constant in life. And something happened recently. Two things happened where I heard myself saying out loud, I love being proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I have discovered the joy of watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone my entire life not liking the texture, the taste, just a mystery to me. And I tried it yesterday, and I ate everything I bought. Not the whole watermelon, it's New York, just pieces.
Sure.
The first initial taste, the texture is tough to get around, but it's glorious. Okay. And
Nice.
walnuts. I love walnuts now, apparently. As a
Oh,
child, it made my mouth tingle, any kind of nut. The German candy was candy wrapped
Really?
around an almond. I used to suck the candy off.
I'm so glad that you said that, Ed. I was feeling guilty.
But now I can crack walnuts with my ass cheeks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can.
And I eat them raw. It's fantastic.
I've
I love being proven wrong.
I've just seen the picture that Bob sent Ed.
I know.
Thanks for
Sorry
sharing
for your ankle, Bob.
Elizabeth, that is great news. Congratulations. Our body chemistry does change. I encourage people to try things they thought they didn't like before every 10, 12 years because things change.
Is that an atrophied leg?
I'm
It's not very attractive, isn't it?
That's
it's-
his 0.04%.
I was going to say it's possibly diseased because 0.04 of it appears to be black. Yeah.
It's like the knockverse. You know that fight? Anyway, thank you, Seth. You just never know.
A couple comments.
Oh.
Bob says the
Uh-huh.
ladies are looking good tonight. And Ian says Kevin
Thanks, Bob.
Moonlight says
I didn't realise I'd left them out.
Yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth, thank God you can go through this talk in 5 minutes because it is going to be one of those nights. You're going to be like, do this, we're done, back to drinking.
Well,
And how's the weather over there, Bob? Yes, Andrea?
I was going to say, with the 7 days thing, now we're going to have more games, classic tabletop gaming on my channel. Tuesday through Thursday.
Yep.
So that's new.
Let me read these comments and then I want to actually talk. Yes, Ed?
And how many followers do you have now, Andrea?
91.
Yeah, baby.
Hold that thought. Ian
Okay.
says, Kevin Moonlight says Kilroy in the wee hours, and Bob adds, Elizabeth, you can massage my ankle anytime. Just look out for that little foot.
I get the point.
So Andrea not only has 91 followers now, but she is also almost an
In the
affiliate.
process.
Yeah, she's
Gotcha.
filled out the documentation. She sent it in. Now it's just a matter of them approving it, which could be anywhere from in the next couple minutes to a day or two, depending on how things are going. So she should be an affiliate at any point in time, and at that point in time, Bob can throw his bits at her also.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Now, I had a thing saying, when I get 50 followers, we'll do a swimsuit gaming session. Well, we hit over 50, so Thursday will be our swimsuit gaming session.
8
8 to
p.m.
10
Eastern.
Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to put a thing here. Hi, Skippers.
Hey,
Hey.
it's the Skippers. We did show off your postcards a few minutes ago that we got it. I think one was Friday and one was today. There is a lot of cat fur in here. By the way, because of Andrea's gaming stream, I have reorganized my bookshelf right here, so it's all gaming supplies.
I got a couple right there.
There you go.
And I also have, and I'm going to hold these so you can't see what's on them, a whole bunch to send the skippers.
Nice.
I promise you none of them are of me semi-naked.
Oh.
Yeah, they
Well,
were all
that's
gone. I
disappointing.
had to use the fully naked ones. They come as a set of 5. You have to stick them all together to get the full picture.
And boy, is that water cold and deep.
Yeah, that's it. Postcard number 3 is the least popular, apparently.
Oh my God, was he bit by something? That looks swollen.
That's the only reason you can see it in the picture. Right, bear with me for a second. I'm going to disrobe gloriously in front of you, and then I'm going to bugger off and make coffee.
We're not going to bear with you. We're going to let you bear alone. Go ahead.
There you go. Now you know what a stick insect looks like with his clothes off. I'll be right back.
Surprisingly British. He's muted. No idea.
Okay, guys, just be sure to follow my channel.
It's the Kraken.
Anybody seen Ant-Man? Yeah,
No. Did you, Kim?
No.
saw it today.
And?
Oh, awesome.
Laughed my ass off.
Better than part 1?
Better than part 1, I think. Yeah.
I didn't think part 1 was that great. It was good. Nothing wrong with it.
It was all right.
It didn't capture me the way a lot of other Marvel movies do. So
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
mine, probably Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1. And then Avengers 1 after that. Captain America 3 after that.
Ed, what was your favorite part?
Winter Soldier. Oh, the movie today?
Yeah.
All of it.
Oh.
I enjoyed the whole movie. I really did. This was one movie where I can say I enjoyed the whole movie. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Jules,
Lady Skipper says, oh, yeah. I was going to say,
go ahead.
that was Kevin's Brexit.
More like breast kit.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So
I
when
was
Kevin gets
traumatized.
back, you know, with the overlays, with the little frames and everything, Kevin's curtains look surprisingly like Venus de Milo's shell behind her.
It does.
Kevin is
I
the
wonder if
goddess
he's
of
going to
beauty.
burst through them. Wow.
Or maybe push through head first, crying.
Oh, my goodness.
Quick, everybody, you know what? Let me do this for you guys viewing while we're doing this. The 2 apps that Elizabeth is going to be discussing and helping everybody out. These are the primary links to them. You can find them on Google Play or your iTunes, Apple Store, whatever they call it. Super Troopers 2 was a groaner and a half. Is it worth seeing, Ian? Or just on DVD? Or if you're drunk and fall asleep on somebody's floor and wake up and it's on?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
That's exactly how I watched Black Panther.
Andrea watched that this weekend.
Yeah. with Elizabeth, the other Elizabeth. I have so many Elizabeths.
Oh,
I
how
gotta
is she?
collect them all.
Can't have too many.
No, you can't. Don't forget, guys, if you were a subscriber and it's been a while since you've been around, hit that subscribe button again and show us that love. And make sure you're getting the notifications for the show. Ian, I know you had an internet issue, but we're glad to see you back here, bud.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if Von Hegner had a internet issue also, because we haven't seen him in a while, or Gene Rossnick.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah.
Maybe I need to go poke those guys and go, hi.
What up?
That's right.
He can't say that to them. He's too white.
Don't tell him what to do.
Howdy, Debno.
Oh,
What
wow.
up, my brother?
Hey,
Ah,
Devno.
Devno, good to see you, man. Appreciate to have you around. You gonna be able to, you gonna stay the whole show, or you just staying for a few minutes, or till the 10 o'clock hour?
Me?
Not you.
You took.
If you'll say I'm leaving in 7 minutes, and you'll be here till 4 in the morning, our time.
It's all about the kid.
What the hell is that, Kevin?
I'm snacking.
What are you snacking
Yeah, you
on?
are.
gonna
That's
share?
what she said.
I have some Malteser buttons.
Oh,
I think we have some of those in the other room. Andrew still hasn't eaten like all the candy you sent for Christmas.
No, yeah, I did.
Did you?
That was something else. Yeah, no, I don't have those. I have stuff from Iceland.
Oh, I don't know.
Icelandic candy.
Apparently all
It's
the
kinda
foreigners
nasty.
send her candy.
I have hummus.
Yeah, you do.
She says with a noticeable lack of enthusiasm.
If I was in a commercial,
Hey,
hummus.
John.
There's John popping in. And Ian says, Super Troopers 2, do watch. There were great moments mixed with groaners, so yeah, give it a shot. Good to hear. Okay.
Okay.
I was
Kevin,
never...
you missed it. Ed was talking about watching the new Ant-Man. He said it was fabulous.
I don't think Ed's ever used the word fabulous.
Fabulous. It was good.
He used it now.
Sorry. You said you laughed your ass off, though, right?
Laughed a lot.
So work your ass away. Watch Ant-Man.
And that's a lot of ass to laugh, so.
Let's see. Ed, you, besides finishing up your house a little bit more, anything else interesting go on this week?
Not really. Had some house guests that I hadn't seen in over a year. My house has been a wreck, but yeah, not really.
I started a
That's the
new
way it works
job.
when you're working on it.
True that. I know Elizabeth had house guests, little furry ones. Hey, there's Kennedy.
It's her new roommate.
What up, Kennedy?
My new roommate.
Trying to evict the little fucker. He's not paying rent.
He's eating for free. And he's outsmarting me.
Kind of like children.
Don't say that, for heaven's sakes. I'm kidding. You know, if there's one, there's a colony. So
No, it's a loner. It's okay.
Just passing through, didn't you notice a little matchstick with a little bag tied to it? Little
no, but I
handkerchief?
keep finding cigarette butts in the bathroom. Fuckers.
Those
Damn
are the
mouse.
roaches. They're regulars, not the mice. The mice are
Oh
much
my
more
god,
health
have you
conscious.
seen Joe's apartment?
I have it on DVD.
I know, it's on the shelf. That I remember when that came out. That is like horrible. Horrible.
Kennedy, I
But
think
they
I had
got
a...
along with them, right? They were nice, right?
Yeah, but it's still no.
Hey, if the roaches here did housework, it'd be a little less problematic.
And
Wow.
I just watched a second Indiana Jones movie last night with the bug scene. And now Elizabeth makes me want to go watch Enchanted with the roaches and the pigeons cleaning the apartment.
I love that movie.
That is a great movie.
When she makes the dress out of the curtains and the cut out in the curtains is the
Cutout.
dress shape.
I like
So
it
hilarious.
when she gets so excited. I'm angry. I'm angry.
Or when she calls... Oh, it wasn't Peter Dinklage in that one. It was a different little person. But yeah, when she's like, hey, are you grumpy?
Yeah. No, because he was in Elf. which is a great movie.
Okay.
Will Ferrell.
Hold on, Des, thanks. I'll go change that. I forgot to change the title. I was too busy messing with all this other stuff.
No, he doesn't want free advice, so you have to pay for it.
Des
So we're
always.
teaching people how to make porns? Is that what we're doing?
Okay.
It is quite
Put that in the
possible.
title and then share it. People will get more viewers.
I wish you'd said. I would have saved me the bother of getting dressed again.
Yeah. Step 1, get a van.
Step 1, look better than this naked.
Thanks, Bob.
There we go.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, appreciate
I've got my British beach body sorted, by which I mean I am the same colour as the sand.
You know, we all look good.
Camouflage.
Like 1 year, it was 18, and then it's just a race against
Right.
time.
Ed, right now I'm so white. If I was in a stationery shop, I could hide in a pack of A4.
Oh, did you really? Kennedy says, I think I mentioned I saw the Dinklages one morning on the subway. Here's the deal with Dinklages. When they had their kids, the first kid, they announced the sex, never told anybody the child's name. With their second kid, they wouldn't even tell the public the sex of the child, which I respect that. As somebody who is a public figure, I am more than encouraging to keep your shit private. You know, have your professional life we get to see, have your private life that you get to enjoy.
I didn't know he had kids, but I'm not a stalker. I don't care.
Yeah, that's really the bottom line, too. It's, I'm here to
If you're in
interact.
a movie, I'd like to know about that. That's it. Don't give a shit.
Same here. Same here.
Unless you come on the show, then we can talk about it. But otherwise,
Oh, yeah, then let's talk all about it.
I've had some people going, well, what kind of stuff are you going to ask? I'm like, I've barely even Googled you. Because we're here to have a conversation, not for me to recite the facts that everybody... The bottom line is, if somebody stalks you, they already know more than I do. And if they don't stalk you, they can get to know you along with me.
Don't tell Travis what to do.
That's what Elizabeth and Andrew are for.
That's right.
Sit down. Shut up, Travis.
Mm.
So,
It's about as effective as telling the wall what to do.
I have 4 cats.
Don't be
here,
angry.
5 cats. Don't tell me what to do. What? Okay, let's
Yeah, I
hand it-
guess. Mhm.
I was going to hand the show over to Elizabeth so she could begin tutoring us on these awesome things.
Awesome.
Okay, are we still into this?
I am.
Step 1.
I want to know how to.
Sure.
I want to know how to make porn on my phone.
I'll send you some links, Travis.
I'll send you some of the porn on my phone.
Yeah, you will.
But now you can star in your own. Make it a hands-on experience.
That's what my porn usually is, just hands-on.
Sticky business.
Mhm.
Hey, did I tell you about my dreams last night?
to add the visual, because we can get it.
Yeah.
That's the third hour.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't talk about the dreams till the third hour. That's inappropriate. Somebody make a note.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
shelve
it's
that inappropriate stuff while we spend the next 2 hours talking about making porn.
Yeah, but this is third hour stuff, really.
Mhm.
Continue with the porn.
Okay, and I'm downloading the 2 apps, which, as I said, if anybody at home wants to follow along with Elizabeth's tutorial on how to do this, there's a couple links. We're starting with WeVideo, and if you go to that website, it will, yeah, my porn name is apparently Get the Hell Off the Set. Who knew? Don't put that there.
That's no.
I'm curious. Where's your porn name, Travis?
I just told you. Don't put
Name-
that there.
Name of your first pet and your mother's maiden name.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Because that makes it Duke Dickey.
Amazing.
It's fucking great
I
right now.
sound like I've stolen. I sound like I've stolen Ed's because mine was Shadow Baker.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, that works out better. A lot of them are like your first pet and the street you lived on when you were born. I'm like, great. So I'm Duke 2nd Street. Thanks. That helps.
Oh my gosh.
I think mine is Tank Anderson.
That's a pretty good name.
Nice. Okay, so all of our viewers, what is your porn name? First pet and mother's maiden name?
Who's
So
maiden name?
Hold on a second. Wait, let me interrupt. Elizabeth, do you want us to go on with a lot of tangents, or would you like to actually have the spotlight and do what we're doing? I don't care either.
You know, it's just that kind of night. So
Okay.
let's just see what happens. We
Good
can do another show. We'll get people going, and then we'll do another one.
Absolutely. Well, I want to know. I'm going to pull up Video
Step
right now.
1, get your porn name. Step 2.
Get your
Step 3,
porn name
profit.
and a lot of Purell.
Jamin says, I would send you phone numbers to the porn stars on my phone, but I promised I wouldn't give them out. Hey, Skipper, if you're absolutely
Gotta
serious,
respect your parents.
you... Well done, Elizabeth. If you actually do know porn stars, I don't want their number. I want them to call me. So you call them and go, I've got this great show. He needs people who, A, aren't divas, B, can take a fucking joke at themselves, C, will speak openly without embarrassment. And I would do a whole porn show because I know the industry is a sick little fucking twisted place, but that doesn't mean all the people are.
I'm loving the porn
Go ahead,
names,
read them
guys.
off,
I'm
Andrea.
loving the porn
Apparently, Kennedy's porn name is Oh Boy.
names.
What's the rest?
No, it's Snowball. Snowball. Oh, that's
Snowball
a porn name.
Hawks. Okay.
John's is Storm Stoneball.
Stoneball.
And then Funky is Gizmo Carter. Sounds like a superhero.
Bob, we know you made that up.
Yeah.
I doubt your mother's maiden name was Richard.
Uncle Richard Fitzwell. No. Ian's is Butch Lamoureux. I can't say anything.
Kennedy,
A lot of
does
time.
everyone know
Kennedy.
what snowballing is? Yes, it's what this show is doing right now.
You'll hear about his dream in the third hour. It may involve that.
Or it may not. Just wait for third hour to find out.
Mhm.
And then I'll learn something new
Stay
too,
for the
apparently.
third hour.
What?
I don't know. Don't ask me to read anything else.
Is there something after Butch Lamoureux?
No.
Come on, Clara Cannoli.
Oh, we're glad to have you guys with us. If you're new here, make sure you're following the
I
channel.
apologize.
There we go. Make sure you're following the channel, otherwise you can't talk to us, which is fine by us, but, whatever. We are definitely friendly
May not want
for a
to.
group of assholes. We are the
Speaking of porn,
assholes you're ever going to hang out with.
Asshole. With
Yeah.
butter.
Kennedy's going to save the link to this show. It will be up for anybody who is listening on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, etc. This is a live show every Monday night, as well as throughout the week. So make sure you search us out on twitch.tv/talkofthetavern for this.
Five assholes.
and you follow my channel, guys. Follow my channel.
So anyhow,
You know you want
okay, what were we going into? Apparently somebody's
Asshole.
pet. I'm going to need another beer before the end of the month.
Alright. Should I get started?
Yeah.
I'll just get started, and then we're going to run off on a tangent, and then we'll bring it back, and then we'll run in that direction. All right. Okay, so filming with your camera. There you go. Okay, number one. Just keep the camera, this is widescreen,
Or
like your
landscape.
eyes. Your eyes are not like this. Your eyes are like this. You want it to look, you want to get the optimum viewing. I guess if you're going to do a headshot, this is fun. But if you're going to film video, you're going to get more of this area than this.
If you want all of me in the video, do it like this.
Okay.
Panoramic.
Number 2, keep it simple. Okay. You have a lens. Your focal depth is this thick. Okay. You're not going to get the whole world spectrum. Find what you're trying to capture, decide what you're trying to capture, and capture it. And number 3, keep your camera still.
May I?
You want.
Most cameras have a anti-shake feature built in. Make sure that is turned on, because even on the best of days, all of us shake a little bit.
It's going to happen, especially if you breathe, okay, because you're close to the mic. What I mean is, when you're filming, don't film over here, and then film over here, and then film, and then film, or you want to become the tripod, and that you're going to steady yourself. See if I can even get through this. Like, third graders. Don't hold your arms locked. Keep them a little bent. And it's almost like you're driving a car. Hold your phone and look through the screen, your monitor. And when you're looking, you kind of stay aware of the world around you, but just hold it steady. I've seen so many videos where, they whip around and it's physically ill. Keep it steady. Okay. Boom. That being said, let's move on. Let's go to WeVideo. Does everyone have it open? Would you like to open your app? Okay. Basically, the app I suggested is just one I've used before. It's very, very simple. I can't seem to find it on my phone. I'll find it in a second. What you can do, number 1, I generally don't edit on my phone because it eats the battery.
I'd like to read a few comments, if I may. Sorry to interrupt, but before
Go
we get
ahead.
too far into it. So Kennedy says, when making the film of Ed, if you want all of him in it, use landscape because porn. Got it. Bob says, Elizabeth, I had a hard time holding the phone steady, taking the picture of my ankle. And Devnall just tops it all here with, I shake a little prior to coming. Bang! Right there. He put it on the table.
Well, then, Devnall, you need to put it on a tripod.
Wait, you talking about the
I think
camera?
Bob put it on the table.
I'm not going to, Okay. Yeah.
What?
I'm glad I'm drinking. Making it easier. Okay. So you open your little app. Basically, remember this. You're editing video. Anytime you're editing video, you're demanding a lot from a processing unit. It's a lot of information, especially HD. Be patient with it, okay? And these little phones, you start editing on these, it's going to devour your battery very quick. So be careful. All right. Generally speaking, I dumped in a couple films. Could you put that link to the film I made in Brooklyn? That was made on WeVideo.
Okay, and that was over here in the Talk of the Tavern thing, yes?
Just so people can look.
Give me just a second. I'm going to go grab that link.
Yeah, those are great.
There's a button right here. It's a little power button, a plus button.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a green button. You want to push the button. That'll give you a whole new project to work on. Now, I suggest to people, if you're going to, I can hear the video. So. If you're going to, I'm showing you these programs because you can take still photos or moving video and put them all together, throw some music on there, bam, you have a video to send your friends. Bam. It's great. The WeVideo app is free. It's, I'm getting an echo. Who's not muted? It's free and easy. You've got a title screen here that if you touch, you can edit it, make it say whatever you want. I don't know. Fuck. All right, that's the title. Fuck. I can play with the size, the font. And when it's done, click OK. That's the title of my piece.
Nice.
Now, instead of a green button, we're in the project, I'm going to hit the blue button. And now I can import from my gallery, which is whatever I've taken, photos or videos. I can either take a photo or take a video and upload the footage as soon as I shoot it. And once you do this, I've got a lot to choose from.
Ooh.
So I have a little, I like WeVideo because I can choose several. Here's a picture, here's a picture, here's a picture. I can choose a lot. And it'll all upload it. It tends to work vertically rather than horizontally. It's just their app. And once I've touched, you just touch the piece you want to edit. All right, look at the talk of the tavern is getting in my way. I can completely turn up the sound or down the sound, and I can decide how much of this video I want to use by these little scroll bars. I can pinch it closed or pinch it open. Okay. No one's listening.
I
Okay.
know.
Pinch it open, pinch it closed.
I'm just trying not to leap on every opening you give me.
I'm trying to school a friend on how to join Twitch. He wants to listen to the show. Sorry.
Yeah, let me cut out the part I'm being obnoxious and rude. All right, so there we go. To say I like it, I hit the check mark. And I can do that. Now, when you have this isn't a video. This is just a photograph I took of Nassau Avenue where I stopped off in Brooklyn. I tend to take every picture. I take pictures of every stop I've ever stopped on. See what happens one day. You can decide if you want it widescreen. You can decide on the aspect ratio of your photo. I can reverse it, so it's backward, whatever. And then you can touch the number and you can decide how long it's on the screen for. A second, 2 seconds. I think a second is the shortest. Let me test it. I take that back. It looks like half a second is the shortest. Boom. It's that easy. And then you want to throw music on, you have options. Okay, you can use the magic wand to make things look pretty. The music, you can add music from your own library. Please be aware of the copyright police, and they're getting more aggressive every day. You use more than, was it 15 or 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Yeah. That's the film I sent you. I stop it at 28. So. Good. But if you're making films for your friend, don't give it. But if you want to post it online, be careful. All right. So I don't know. I'll use it Boogie Boogie style. All right. And you're happy. I've added it. Good. Oops. I hit the wrong button. Then we go back. And once. Sorry. I accidentally hit it. All right. Okay, let me just make sure. I just want to decrease the length of time. It looks like the default for still frames is 6 seconds.
Oh.
Please remember, too, you're probably going to make films just for monitors. Staring at something for 6 seconds nowadays is a long time.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that attention span. Unless it's a glorious, glorious 6 seconds. Okay, no, that's good. Okay. And that's good. Okay, so I've added music.
And that is glorious, glorious, not glory hole 6 seconds, people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen every glory hole in the world. I'm sure there are some that are worth a 6 second look. All right. Remember, we're being programmed. What does the triangle mean?
Google.
Triangle
being
means
programmed?
play.
Oh.
A double bar stop. There you go, Kev.
Oh, the triangle pointing that way.
So when you hit the triangle, it actually plays your video.
Oh.
And I left that on a little too long.
We've had that symbol since like the 70s.
Sorry, it's playing. But if you like it or you don't like it, you can always go back and fix it and play with it. Once you're happy with it, once again, we're being programmed. Little paper airplane means to send it somewhere. You can send it to.
Is that what that is? I thought it was like an arrow with a line through it. I had no idea it was a paper airplane.
No, no, it's a paper.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's okay. That's it. You learn something every day. Because it's video, they give you an option of saving without the watermark, because some people want that, or you can just save with watermark. I save it because anything I make with this is not going to be professional. It's just for friends or something silly. If I really wanted it without the watermark, I would just put it on my big computer and cut that watermark off. But it's free. It can give you a lot of power. You cannot take sound and separate it from the video on this one. That takes extra power. You can just take pictures or video, put them together, put some music on there, and send it to your friends. And I have to admit, I send a lot of videos to friends on my phone.
And besides sending it to friends, keep in mind, making videos, it's a powerful tool for more than just sharing things with your friends. It's whether it's a comedic tool or a serious tool, if it's a beautiful night with a wonderful thunderstorm, catching that 30 seconds on video when the lightning lights the sky and dances across it, or just that busy New York traffic, or the lovely sound of birds in the country and the babbling brook. These are things some people never get to see in their whole life.
Hummingbirds. Swarms of hummingbirds. Yes.
Let alone if something... Yes, Kevin?
I was just going to say, on that subject, I had a friend who very particularly wanted to see the ruins of Petra when I visited there. And I must have sent him 50 photographs. Like the edited down album was 50 photographs that I thought he would enjoy. And one 15-second video that was taken outside the treasury at Petra. And he said to me after I got back that actually he enjoyed that 15-second video more than all the photographs put together, because it wasn't until he watched the video. You can see the monuments and all the photographs, but he said with that you get the sound. You can hear the musical instruments being played in the distance. You can hear camels braying, the hubbub of human conversation. And it just made that 15 seconds of video so much more real in terms of experiencing it than staring at 50 photographs did.
It's true.
Yeah.
Within context.
And also,
once again, that's when you would walk around with the camera like this, not like this, up in front of your face, here. And you can still look around as long as you're holding it steady. And you have to be careful where you walk, because we get so engrossed looking at that camera. I've stopped people from walking out into traffic.
What I have found is if you're going to film more than 15 seconds, especially if you're moving, you go ahead and put your elbows against the side if you're not too tight, because then you're going to jiggle more. But you use that like a steady cam, and you watch where the hell you're walking, and you just know that camera is being held in front of you like a steady cam. This way.
So it's kind of like the red dot sight on an AR-15.
Absolutely.
Exactly like that.
Got it.
Especially when moving.
And when you do move, try not to just move it horizontally. Try to give it a little curve or a little diagonal.
Like your head.
Because if you think about it, our eye is curved. And when you do something straight, it tends to flicker. Like, see how my hand is flickering?
And
people are like, well, that's the camera. Well, yes, that's your eye. Versus this.
Oh, 1 second there, Kevin. And also keep in mind, when you do move gently. Don't jerk from one place to another. Kevin?
Even porn.
Ease in, ease out.
I was going to say, does that lend itself to a more natural feeling video when you watch it back, moving in arcs? Is it a case of that's too obviously you moving from one place to another because it's singularly linear, whereas a curve looks like you've done that deliberately? Does that make sense? Rather than just it's a byproduct of having to move the camera. If you do it in a curve or in some other way, it shows you've done that deliberately rather than just as a product of having to move the camera.
The difference is when you move your head, your eyes move independently of your head. So your eyes are moving up to check corners or whatever. So the camera should follow a more natural movement. If you lock your eyes straight forward and just turn your head, it's very unnatural. Not just the feeling, but the movement of what you're seeing.
If you move it with a subtle curve, or if you follow a diagonal, maybe the way things are lining up, like pictures or something, it's going to be easier to follow, and you're not going to lose the eye contact. Deliberate, it's talking to a filmmaker. Think we want when you're cutting in film and suddenly the person's here talking this way and then the person's this way and then it flips back and forth. That is deliberate, and that it's somewhat jarring. So your brain understands, oh, that's that person, that's that person, that's that person, that's that person. So, you know, this is just to add smoothness, to make it calmer, and slow it down, enjoy it. And you don't. And when I say ease in, when you start to move, don't just move, and then speed up a little bit. And when you go to stop, slow to a stop. And it just, when you're working with camera, especially video, and you want it to seem more natural, maybe not so jarring, and you don't want to lose your audience, slow down. Just slow down. Doesn't have to be slow motion, just slow down the camera.
Another suggestion Elizabeth has given me is when you start to film or end filming, first of all, do not start or stop on your actual subject. Pan to your subject. And besides that, always film 2 to 5 seconds more than what you think you need so you have room to cut it smoothly. So that's part of the editing.
You can start on your subject if that scene demands it. But
right.
It is more interesting when you kind of turn to them.
Well, movement attracts the eye.
It gives you something to play with. And you always want, and cut on the movement, cut on the movement, cut on the movement. And what I'm telling you is nothing special that I came up with. This is all stuff everyone learns in film school.
That's right.
And
she's not telling us the special stuff because that's her little secret. She doesn't want the competition.
I want my porn
for that.
When you add porn, cut on the movement.
You want to cut on movement or on a sound or an expression or something. You know, we do a lot of humorous video making this group, so we're going to do that. We're going to cut on something that'll help end the scene or a metaphor punchline or something.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're a writer, or even if you're a television showmaker, you want to end on a high point. You want to end on the punch. You don't want to end on the low point, on the outtake of breath. You want to end on the intake. So people are left with, oh my God, what was that? And that's what remains with them when you cut away.
But it's okay too. Just
everything is okay.
I'm sorry, someone's calling from my area code. I'm ignoring them.
Okay.
It's okay too to set your phone down and hit record and then run into the scene. Hey, we're here, and then run back and stop it. Because when you have an editing program, you can take off that first half you don't want and that last half you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Or make a video of all the bad parts.
And we're about to go into a break here, which, by the way, I have done that with our humorous things where we have, here's our good cut, but we took 3 times to get it, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to use that for something.
Well, Kennedy says he would like to make a movie of Elizabeth making a movie. Is that weird?
No.
I'm thinking that's weird. No.
It's not weird at all.
Documentary, baby.
But you guys, keep your weird for a moment. Let us go get another beer or whatever we need. We're going to take a quick break here. I have to pick out which break I want. I don't know. I think I stopped on
Speaking
7.
of videos,
What?
Enjoy that.
Oh, yeah. Been doing that video. We'll just start right here. Here we go. We'll be back. Hi. I'm a special unicorn. And I'm so getting toasted on top of the tavern. Nay. Nay.
Talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome.
Hey, look. It's ice. Baby! I'm lost and I'm trying to find my way to get toasted at Talk of the Tavern. If I can clean up a mess from my peacock, 2 can too. Look, I found a wide-necked turtleneck for a milkhead. See the boobs go there and then the legs? For the pirates in your life that like to have great hair, argan oil. Hey, want to see the definition of morning wood? It's a patron-only video. Oh, God. What do I do? This kind of shit my friends get, not strangers. I think there's a cat right over there. They just peed a little. I done told you already! Butt bopper, butt bopper. So Barbie now has pink hair. That's kind of cool. And then she also has a dream elephant. Oh, the things Barbie dreams about. Bubble Pong, the way to introduce your kids to bong. Just get them this and some beer. Let them go. My first thought was, that's not a flamingo. Hey honey, I found your game. Oh wait, it says ski, not skis. Never mind. You know what? I really got something I want to ask you. I done told you already! It's time for a nap because we got toasted on Talk at the Tavern.
Kitten.
Look, it's Africa's best. No lie. Farm Friends hand puppets. Don't give this to your teenage son. You know what that leads to in the future. Bestiality. Wiggy wiggy wag, tail to pay. Wiggy wiggy wag, tail to pay. Yeah, wiggy wiggy wag, tail to pay. M&M's named after me. White cheesecake. Did you see that unicorn? It shit and run. You know, sometimes when I just gotta go, but I can't, I need a little pre-poo. Seen it all. Look, it's a poop sharpener. It gives a point to my shit.
This week in history.
Totally fucking muted while I was harassing Kevin. God damn it. Hey Ed, what happened this week in history?
Shit happened, y'all. July 5th, 1755. The day the forest ran red. It's year 2 of the French Indian War, otherwise known as the 7 Years' War to the rest of the world. British General Edward Braddock's march to the Fort Decay from the march to take. Go ahead.
I'm curious. When you say Indian in this case, are we talking about with India, or are we talking about with Native Americans?
Here in America.
Okay.
Woo! Feathers, not knots. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
That was so fucking politically incorrect.
You know what? I am willing to bet we have a few Redskins friends that would have said it long before you ever did.
But anyway, I'll start again. British General Edward Braddock's march to take Fort Decay from the French during the French Indian War will end in a crushing defeat. A force of 2,100 Brits were engaged by a force of 891 French and Indians along the banks of the Monongahela River near present-day Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. During the march to Fort Decay, a young George Washington, Braddock's aide-de-camp, would try to warn the general to deploy skirmishers to guard against flank attack and woodsman fighting tactics. Braddock would ignore Washington's advice because it went against all military tactics that were taught in the old world during that time.
Yeah.
He got surprised.
Well,
He got his ass kicked.
Continental versus colonial battlegrounds were two totally different.
The battle will claim Braddock's life as well as the lives of over 500 of his men. French casualties were only 30. Losses for British forces would probably have been greater if Washington had not rallied the Virginia Regiment, yeah, baby, and held the line while the rest of the army was able to escape.
Ed, as a soldier,
As a soldier.
sometimes you've got to just see stuff that makes you go, you want me to do what? The fuck is the sense in that? Such as where they use continental style fighting in the
Stand in a straight line and exchange rounds 50 yards apart. Yep.
yeah. Basically, you got a front line that kneels and shoots, back line that does that. They step forward, reload, take turns, leapfrogging over each other. And of course, it worked like crap here. Apparently, it works in Europe because they had huge cleared tracts of land. And here, not so much, because you had people like, how about I stand behind this tree and then pop out and shoot you while you're reloading? So as a soldier, when you get an order like this, that yes, this is standard operating procedure, but you're like, but it's stupid.
Yeah. Well, back then, you got to remember, a smoothbore musket only had like accuracy range of 25 yards.
Right.
So if you get about 50 yards away, you got a chance of survival a little bit.
Just a flesh wound.
But yeah, battles were basically battles of attrition. It's how many men dropped first and how many men took off running first. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Interesting point about the French Indian War, 7 Years' War. Let's call it 7 Years' War. It was technically the first world war. It involved over 25 nations and their colonies around the globe. It was fought on every continent save Antarctica and in every ocean around the world.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
So,
So
not realize that.
using that measure, if you will,
Mhm.
how many world wars have we actually had? Does anybody know? I'm guessing if that's one, we're actually much more past 3. I'm guessing 5 or 6 at this point.
3. No, 3.
Sure, I'd say.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Let's see. Kennedy says even in Vietnam, the F-4 had no cannon early on. Is that what?
That is true.
What is F-4?
F-4 Phantom was a fighter plane that was developed after Korea, going into Vietnam War. During Korea, they came dependent very heavily on missiles. They didn't want to dogfight anymore like they did in World War II, World War I. So going into Vietnam, they decided, we don't need guns on planes no more. Well, it proved to be a mistake because there's a certain point where the planes get too close to use missiles anymore, and they had to go back to putting cannons on guns and learning or cannons on planes and learning dogfighting skills, henceforth Top Gun.
And if anybody needs great examples of this, just go watch Star Wars anytime they get close enough to a Star Destroyer. You're going to have a dogfight. That's that.
Yeah.
Too much geek? What else happened
Nah.
this week in history?
Okay, gonna go from the boring shit now, real history, and we'll go into Hollywood shit.
Before you do, I'm going to read a few comments here. And Kennedy kind of backed up what you said because there'd be no dog fights, but then there were. John says a brick with a large engine. Ian says West Pointers as far into the early 1900s, but we're still so enamored with Napoleon's charge of the Light Brigade, they got minced every time. Continental versus colonial warfare was completely different, Kennedy adds. And even then, the order was to visually recognize other planes.
Planes, yeah.
There we go. And Bob says, I loved when an F-4 took off on the fight line.
It's a big, heavy, flight line. It looks like a fucking killer. F-4 is an awesome, autonomous looking plane. It's out of date now. They don't fly them no more. Some of them might fly still in like surveillance roles or something like that, but they're not fighter planes no more. But it does look like a fucking monster coming to get your ass.
Hold on a second. I am going to Google it real quick because I bet I recognize it.
F-4 Phantom.
Oh.
I already have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had an Airfix model of one.
Okay, I know that one.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, that's there we go. Yeah, those are intimidating little snub-nosed things. They're like a bulldog of planes.
Yeah, Kennedy. That's what I was thinking. Wild Weasel, but I'm not even sure they still do that no more. I thought the A6 had taken over all of that, and even the FA-18. But it may still be some F4s out there flying Wild Weasel. Wild Weasel is the plane goes up. It's got all these electronics in it to jam enemy radar. That's its whole mission. So that the other planes with the bombs and missiles and guns and everything can come in and blow up shit.
Gotcha. Okay, what else happened?
37 years ago, Donkey Kong was released. 19 years.
I'm surprised we haven't had a Donkey Kong movie.
I thought we did.
We didn't?
No, we had a Mario Brothers movie. No Donkey
I thought
Kong.
there was an animated one.
No, Donkey Kong appeared. Well, there was a Donkey Kong cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, and we had Donkey Kong in pixels.
Well, Mario came from Donkey Kong. That's where they started.
That's true.
Did you know that? Yeah. So. Kennedy says Rampage. Okay. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
More?
Yes, go on.
All right. 19 years ago, that one time at band camp, the movie American Pie was released.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
We're going to stop having to do these things soon because they're making me feel fucking old now.
I actually thought it was longer than that.
That's what she said.
18 years ago, Scary Movie.
Wow. God.
I love that movie.
Only 18?
Yeah, I thought that was longer than that too. Because haven't they made 18?
Something like that, pretty much.
24 years ago, My Name Was Forrest Gump was released. 31 years ago, Nobody Leaves This Place Without Singing the Blues. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Is Dead.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That Thor. Yeah.
Mighty God of Thunder.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I'm thinking
And
Adventures in Babysitter. What is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Is Dead?
Oh, Christina Applegate,
The dishes are
babysitter
done,
died.
man.
Yeah.
Remember when they were throwing the dishes off the roof and shooting them with the shotgun?
Vaguely.
And then they get their stuff together, get a job, and it's great. It's great.
fun.
But anyway, 36 years ago, the original Tron is released.
Which is much more
wow.
boring than you remember.
Okay,
It's okay
Kennedy's
when it
got it
came out.
right. Sorry, Adventures in Babysitting was Nobody Leaves Here about, or it was one of those fucking babysitting movies.
How did that
I know
become
we
a
did
thing?
Last Babysitter.
Kevin, repeat yours.
One was actually last week and one was this week, and I may have.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Ian has local weird alien news. Hold on a second. I think this is important.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm whipping it out.
You're gonna have to regale me because all I'm getting is the hideous. This content is not available in your region.
Okay, so
course not.
a pair high on bath salts fire shots at fireflies mistaken for alien lasers in Clinton County, Pennsylvania. So a man and woman who state police believe were high on bath salts fired shots in the sky to chase away alien lasers. Thank you, Ian. Is this you? Are you part of this? We'll find out.
They were just trying to keep us all safe.
That's very good of them. And by the way, the picture from WNEP, ABC's local affiliate, Channel 16, is a Dirty Harry level revolver pointed straight up with alien lasers written across it and little graphics.
Yeah.
The lasers, as it turns out, were actual fireflies. Shields and Catherine McCloskey, fearing they were being chased, ran to a nearby home. Someone called 911. The duo then ran to another home where the homeowner got a gun from them. Shields
That is
asked,
some good.
Shields asked the homeowner if he could take a shower to, quote, get the goo off him that was burning his skin. Troopers showed up and arrested our two heroes, Shields and McCloskey. That sounds like a television show, doesn't it? Shields and McCloskey. Protecting people from aliens.
Tonight at 9 after Cagney and Lacey.
That's right. The pair from Mill Hall are locked up in Clinton County. Why do they not have pictures? I can only imagine what these winners and heroes look like.
Oh, they're doing their best. They're doing their civic duty. Just because they were extraordinarily high. Don't be wrong.
It's just a complete coincidence.
Yeah. I imagine he looks like Vincent D'Onofrio, since it was mentioned by Ian. I imagine he looks like Vincent D'Onofrio from Men in Black with the Edgar
I
suit.
love that.
They
Oh,
smoked themselves stupid.
And she looks like the chick in the diner from Pulp Fiction. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
What else you got, Ed?
I got a little local news myself. I want to read a little bit. This was released by our local sheriff's department here, and if I can find my damn glasses, I want to read a little bit. And then, granted, I live in a rural area, so when there's an armed robbery, that's like a big thing. Okay, shit like that don't happen around here.
Same here.
Yeah.
Versus-
Clark County Sheriff's Office and Warren County Sheriff's Office are investigating 2 attempted robberies in the early morning hours of July 8th, 2018. We are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the subject in these photos. The subject in the photo attempted to rob the 7-Eleven in Warren County, and they got the address, was stopped by several customers. Approximately 15 to 20 minutes later, the subject attempted to rob the 7-Eleven at Double Tollgate.
Wait, is that the same one or a different one?
It's about 10 miles away. The suspect is identified as light, meaning blah, 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 wears gloves. He wore a plastic bag over his head. And he brandished an unknown type of weapon, also concealed in a shopping bag. No vehicle information.
Let's go back to plastic bag over the head.
Yeah.
It doesn't specify if it was like the ABC stores here. The alcohol stores have really good plastic bags that are black and thick. Or is it like
It looks like a gray plastic bag in the photo.
The cheap-ass plastic.
The cheap-ass plastic bag. And he also had his gun in a plastic bag. My curiosity, this was released 2 days ago, and I have fucking searched. Attempted to rob the 7-Eleven in Warren County, but was stopped by several customers. How did they stop him? I want to know this.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, they might have
He just waited till he passed out from lack of oxygen.
And by the way, regarding the previous article, DevNull says, at least they aren't from Florida. Bath salts equal zombies. Yeah, DevNull, I'm with you. I grew up in South Florida and lived in the Tampa, St. Pete, etc. area. So yeah, all the stupid people are from Florida now. Ian, thank you for breaking that misconception.
I feel your pain, by the way, because I live in essentially what is the Florida of Britain. It's the slightly sunnier place you send all the old people to die.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And by the way, Bob asked, was it the Unknown comic? Good question. I think that's a good question. He sucked back then, too. He constantly failed on his mission. So what else you got on that, Ed? Is there anything else?
That's it on that.
What are you drinking?
The Pinot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice.
I'm finishing the bottle of Riesling from this weekend when Elizabeth came over.
I got a bottle
which
of
one?
The other one.
Let me see. Hold it up. Is that the Schwarzenegger?
The right. That
Wait,
one.
hang on. I got to move something I have.
While you're doing that. Oh.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I got another beer during the break, and this one is Stone Ruination. So there's that.
Oh.
And real quick, just for all our viewers that haven't seen, this is what I do when I'm at a restaurant with somebody who seems to be homophobic. I'll look them straight in the eye, pick up my beer bottle, and go. And then while they're busy freaking out and calling everybody's attention to what I did, I'll be like, what? What's happening? Oh. What else we got this week in history?
Anybody else got anything? Current events, weird news, blah, blah, blah,
No,
blah,
we had some
blah.
weird news.
Yeah?
Well, that was the weird news stuff
Okay.
they posted, so I'm good.
I ain't got no dead people. Anybody else got dead people?
Not on.
Not.
Just
Not that I'm going to tell you about.
Okay. Birthdays. July 8th.
Speaking of dead people,
Okay,
I
go ahead.
did go over a plan with Elizabeth in case her and Andrea want to bump me off of how to
We did.
and effectively get rid of my body.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
It's I had never even thought about it before. It'd be amazing.
I wasn't even around for this.
Don't worry, you will be.
Apparently I won't be. Not for long.
I know of several ways, maybe.
I mean, I can
I
go
don't know
over it with
anything.
you here on air so somebody else can use it if they need the plan.
Oh, no.
You want
No.
it kept in private so it's not public knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go on birthdays.
Yeah, as Kennedy said, kids in a cave. Yeah. Anyway, birthdays.
I don't get kids in a cave.
In Thailand, some football
It
coach,
was a soccer
coach,
team?
got his team stuck down in a hole in the earth, and water started flooding because of the monsoons, and they've rescued some. I don't think as of this evening they've gotten them all out yet. Some guy died.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, some guy died trying to get to him, but it's raining again, and if they don't get him soon, they're going to run out of oxygen and die. Oh yeah, and Bob twisted his ankle.
So, you know what? I'm guessing he's referring to jerking off with the picture he sent earlier. But anyhow, so is this a tragedy or is this natural selection? Kids in a cave during the monsoon season.
Can you really blame the kids for following the adult that should be responsible?
No, but I refer back to my military question earlier. When you're given suicidal commands that just make you go, what? Do you follow them or not? I know. I would probably follow them.
I've got no military experience, so Ed will correct me as the man with the correct knowledge. But my understanding of it is that unless it's an extraordinarily extreme circumstance, aren't you told to not question the chain of command in the heat of battle?
Pretty much. Because here's the thing: you join the military, it's a dangerous job. You might die.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. If you haven't been given a command that kill a whole bunch of people, as Cali did during Vietnam. If you haven't been given a command like that, somebody gives you a command, that door 50 yards away, go kicking in, and there's machine gun fire all over the place. You're supposed to run 50 yards and kick that fucking door in.
Okay.
And, if not, they don't need you there.
It's essential for the unit to work together and follow commands
right.
as a whole, not as an individual.
In order to succeed in the mission, yeah. So.
And I imagine as well, it's hard at times if you're the guy there on point, as it were, on the ground, actually in the thick of it, to have a wider battlefield awareness unless you're a commanding officer.
That's the theory.
Yeah. I dare say it doesn't always work that way.
But we complain,
no system ever does.
We complain about our kids being drones and not being taught to think, just to regurgitate information and follow directions. And then in other situations, we're like, nope, you don't think for yourself, damn it. And military, I'm actually going to take that and say, let's say military is the exception, where you agree to do that, because that's part of theoretically, you have somebody who knows what they're doing above you most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with things like this, the kids in a cave, well, do we want them to think for themselves or do we want them to follow instructions? Because if they're in that cave and the guy in charge goes, we need to all go over here, And one kid goes, no.
It's one of those things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any given answer.
You know,
It's
it's an unfortunate fact in life. Is sometimes you just have a bad dice roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can talk.
Yes.
You can talk about having free thought and the right to say no, but at the end of the day, we have to remind ourselves as well that we are talking about kids, and one of the things that we do in most societies try and drum into kids is you always listen to an adult because you don't know better than them.
Yeah,
So
and-
even if everything that kid's thinking is screaming at them, this is wrong, if an adult tells them to do it, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it just because it's an adult.
No, like I said, I would have probably just followed instructions because I'm one of those guys, you know, the rules are there for a reason and they should make sense and you should be able to put your faith in them without questioning every
I think
step.
Yeah,
in that situation, I would have followed the teacher, and I probably would have ended up dying. The only difference between me and the other kids is while they were all crying about the fact they were about to die, I would have been the one beating the fuck out of my teacher.
There you go. Use them as a flotation device.
A few comments here. Devnall says, thinning the herd. Kennedy, it's not your fault. This is what we do. I specifically rang this bell to draw everybody's attention for a minute because this is a topic worth addressing again and again and again. The time and place for independent
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
versus following instruction. Both are the right answer, and sometimes both are the wrong answer. So,
Yeah.
and that's why I ding that to get everybody on it because, yeah, there's no good answer to this one. That's that. Bob says the coach should stay in the cave. The kid's parents are going to kick his ass. Yeah, probably true.
I mean, a similar thing happened nearby here back in the mid '70s. A Boy Scout master, he takes a bunch of Boy Scouts up in the National Forest, just 15 miles away from me,
Mhm.
in what turns out to be in the middle of the worst blizzard we'd had in years.
Uh-huh.
Kids died. I mean, you know, but kids, oh yeah, we're going camping in the snow. I can see the kids in Thailand too. Oh man, we're going with Coach to explore these caves, you know. So
Yeah. See, you know, my son, currently a Boy Scout, who doesn't seem to enjoy it. I have no idea why he keeps going back. But he sits here and talks about, oh, we went camping and the temperature was so hot we were all miserable. Or in the winter, it was all snowy and we were miserable. And I'm like, but you knew this. And you chose to go anyway. So shut up.
Toey says just stay away from soccer altogether. It only ends in tears.
I have to agree with you as quite possibly the only Englishman at the moment who doesn't believe England are going to win the World Cup. It's never going to happen. Take my prediction right now. It's just not going to happen. We're going to
Who's going
crash
to
out.
win then?
Do you know what?
Anybody else?
I genuinely couldn't tell you who else is still in the tournament apart from England. Some of it I care about football, but it amuses me no end that suddenly we've got a couple of rounds further than we normally do, and all of a sudden the whole of England, everywhere I fucking go at the moment, all I can hear is "It's coming home." No, it's not. The only thing coming home is our team.
Well, I'd really like I'd like to have you on my team. I think you would be just
Don't
the
get me
inspiration.
wrong. No, don't get me wrong. Get me behind the cause I genuinely believe in. I can be surprisingly loyal and fervent, but I'm not.
I don't know.
a football
I'm coming
fan.
from a country that can't even get. Well, you know, I believe in two types of soccer. There's soccer and there's men's soccer. The women's American team, they're fantastic. The men's team are lousy. Every year there's an excuse. They didn't even make the playoffs this year. So, you know, I say enjoy it now and cheer for them. What the hell? Who knows what's going to be? I'll be watching them. And when they beat Brazil, my neighborhood was so quiet. And you know how they run around and they bite their shirt? You know, I just would walk past them. They were all quiet. Because we all went, for some reason, I was grocery shopping. There were a lot of people in yellow jerseys. I just walked around singing God bless the Queen.
Yes, indeed, Roughhead, you're right, by the way, 1966. This is why the British get so wound up about the World Cup, because that was the last time we won it. Because frankly, what Britain is really good at, the one sport, and it's not a real sport, that we excel at, is inventing sports and then immediately becoming utterly shit at them for the rest of all known time.
You never know. You know, when you get to this level of play, you never know.
Look at Britain, though. Football, shit. Tennis, shit. Golf, shit. You name it. We are shit at everything. We win nothing. And yet we invented half of the sports that I'm talking about. We take a national pride in it. We don't like winning anything. It's not our thing. We're British. We like to come second by the narrowest of margins so that we can moan incessantly about it for months after the event about how we were robbed.
Hey, Kevin.
If we won, we wouldn't know how to celebrate properly. We'd be like, well, what do we moan about? Hey, Travis.
After hours.
I have a thought. Okay, you said the British like to come in second. That's because they're so polite.
I couldn't possibly take gold. I wouldn't feel right.
Okay.
I'm sure.
You're a hell of an Olympics, though.
So Ian posted an article here, but I'm looking at this article, and I'll go into it in a moment if we like. But one of the other articles linked to it, by the way, it's from New York Post and originally published by The Sun. But has Brit flee Dubai after stripping naked for England World Cup win? I just thought that headline was relevant to what we're talking about.
Sounds about right.
And hello, Victoria. How are you?
Oh, hello, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
One of the nicest little short video clips I've seen in the World Cup so far was just before the England-Sweden game. And it was a large sort of square opening where they were in a square and there was obviously a set of steps going down. And so on the one side of the set of stairs, you had all the England fans outside one pub, all the Swedish fans on the other side. And one of Britain's most intellectual and highly thought out and most popular football chants is the chant of "You're shit and you know you are." But for the Sweden game, they'd adapted it. And to the Swedish fans, they were singing, "You're shit, but your birds are fit. You're shit, but your birds are fit." It was just, it made me swell with national pride for a moment.
I got one for you. So, was it last night or the other night? It was somewhat cool here on my street. And my neighbors, just a few houses up, they were having a dinner and a barbecue in their little front yard. A tiny little space. It could barely fit the double tables. And there's maybe 12 so them, wine, a Latino group. And after the end of dinner, they brought out the big TV and they were watching a game for the World Cup. And it was the England game, the latest one with the penalty kicks and everything. And I thought that was great. So it says a lot to what they're trying to do. So
It's great that somebody
Yeah.
still brings their TV outside to watch the game.
it was
That's
beautiful. It's easier
something
now
you don't
because
see
they're
anymore.
big.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. I was watching it from my doorstep. It was so big.
So, do we want to address comments, go into the other news article, or actually let Ed talk about birthdays and finish this week in history?
Oh, we want to do the second half hour of This Week in History?
We can.
We've done that for three shows in a row now. So.
We're having a good time. That's really all that matters, isn't it? That's
We're
really
talking
all
World
that
Cup,
matters.
man.
That's it.
4 years.
Yeah, something.
I mean, I've got
Somebody
an
kicking
article for me in here about a dog that chews its owner's face off.
them. Sure, let's do that.
Okay, so Ian posted this. Thank you, Ian. Man found dead with face half eaten by his dog. Now, by the way, all this apparently took place in Thailand. Like every article Ian has sent us is like Pennsylvania or Thailand. There's no in between. So Glenn Pattison, who's a Canadian, was eaten by his hungry pet Cujo.
You couldn't make that up.
Now, the beloved pet dog chewed his master's face down to the skull. And it was a 5-year-old dog, which they don't say what kind of dog it is, at least not that I've seen looking through the article. But also just, by the way, he was found with blood dripping from his mouth and sitting by the Canadian man's side. They guessed that this man had been dead 7 days and the dog had no food or water.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? If I died like after 8 hours, I'm like, hey, cats, just chew me up. You can have food left in your bowl. I would not be upset in the afterlife. Like, oh, look, they're eating me. They love me that much.
Mhm.
The dog was just so very hungry, and
Yeah.
nobody checked on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just had this vision years from now of the kids turning to Em and going, "What were Uncle Kev's last words again?" Drag me to the python tank.
By the way, Mr. Glenn Stanley Patterson was found not wearing any clothes, according to Police Lieutenant Colonel Pasawat Siripan Napakun. They're not treating the death as
Good
suspicious.
effort.
They found a number of diabetes-related tables were found in the room. So yeah, basically this guy had a medical issue. He died, and the neighbors pretty much ignored the fact that the dog was barking for 7
Well-
days
And where's the family? Where's everything? Damn,
in
that
Canada.
sucks.
Well, you have an
So?
animal in your house. Within 6 hours, you start to smell pretty good about being dead. They're going to eat you, and they start with the
They-
face and the big parts.
Go
Yeah.
for the soft tissue first.
Yeah, there is. I don't think I mentioned it. Paramedics who arrived found Patterson's face had been chewed down to the skull, and his ribs were exposed where the torso had been eaten.
Oh yeah, because they go up and then in.
Yeah.
Yeah, typical.
You
Because
know,
where all the good parts are.
he lived there for about 3 years. He was friendly. He loved his dog and took him for walks every night. But 7 days without seeing the neighbor, the dog barking next door. Yeah, they finally went, maybe somebody should check on them.
You know, if that was me and that happened to me, I really wouldn't care. At the end of the day, once I'm dead, hell, if that happens in an accidental situation and I own a pet and it's the choice between that or my pet also dying of starvation in some
Yeah.
kind of cruel murder suicide type situation, I don't care. There's not much meat on my bones,
Oh,
admittedly, but
Who cares about the guy, the dog? Nobody came to check on.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah,
People.
I'm not upset about the guy. The guy was dead. He died of
Yeah,
something else. Something,
whatever.
Low
But the
blood
fact
sugar or
that the
whatever.
dog had to eat his face because he was hungry.
Well, what about the
Ew.
guy that didn't show up to get his prescription at the or didn't order a pizza like 1 or 2 days, and the pizza
Yeah.
joint
yeah,
checked
By the way,
Travis.
Kennedy says, so who does Kevin think will win? And if he says France, I'll give him kudos because his fake English accent is excellent.
I've got to be honest, France have got a really good chance of taking it. They've always had a strong side. They've done well in World Cups before. The training's good. Their facilities are excellent. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they did take it. Damn.
Elizabeth, do you have an opinion?
France is really good right now. I'm going to go for England. Got to go for them.
God bless you. Her Majesty sends her regards.
Victoria says, and I'm going to read this word for word, I had a neighbor die on my floor. It was 5 days before they found him. No animals, but it was the worst smell ever. You had a neighbor die on your floor, and it took him 5 days. How long did you serve? Once they found your dead
The
neighbor
floor
on your floor.
of her
5 days.
building, not her
Oh,
floor.
I'm sorry. I thought
Are
you meant
you
like
sure?
the linoleum there.
No, I'm not sure, but it sounds
maybe
better.
she left that deliberately ambiguous.
What do you do?
I had
really
to
don't wanna
step
know.
over that leaky, mushy body for almost a week, damn it.
Now, wait a minute. There was this is true. There were people, it was in Colorado, and they got really high on crack and drinking and partying, and when they were driving, they hit a homeless guy, and he got impaled on the hood of their car. They drove the car home, parked it in their garage, and went inside and partied with their friends. And throughout the night, they went into the garage and had to go past the car to get more beer out of the fridge. And the guy was stuck on the car moaning and dying, and they didn't help him.
I remember.
Yeah.
They made a show or a movie about that actual case, too.
No.
There was a
Did they
TV show.
really?
There was a TV show that,
Probably
Yeah, there
an
was a
episode of Law
TV
and
show,
Order or
and they
something.
did that.
yeah, it was Law and Order.
Yeah.
Same.
It's not an actual case, whatever.
It was.
A few things here. Countess says, I've got some World Cups for you. Roughhead said, I once checked up on a friend's father-in-law. He was dead. He doesn't follow up with that, but I'm guessing then Kennedy left the building and went away. Somebody else will get that. Floor of the building clarifies Victoria. Ian says, that's right, dear, show us those cups. And they found $30K in cash in his apartment. See, this is why it's worth checking up on your neighbors, so you can go through their shit before the police get there.
That's true.
That was in a show I've been watching. It's a British show called Chewing Gum. One of the neighbors in the state died, and they stole all of his stuff, and it was like huge bags of dildos. So you never know what you'll find.
Which is like $30,000.
British comedy.
Apparently CSI episode and other people remember. Okay, Ed, birthdays, go.
Oh, July 8th, 1838. Inventor Ferdinand von Zeppelin, the inventor of the Zeppelin.
Great, we got 30 minutes on this. Stop talking. Yay, Zeppelins. Move on.
July 9th, 1956. Actor Tom Hanks, who was in Forrest Gump that we mentioned earlier. July 13th, 1940.
Sorry to interrupt here, but does anybody else think that the bras of the 1950s, like what Marilyn Monroe looked like, have Zeppelins when they were on the chest? They're kind of conical shape and pointy and...
Yeah, it was a thing. Yeah.
I kind of
It was
like
supposed
those.
to be like missiles.
Yeah,
Well, you wear one.
Fembot.
Not very comfortable.
I'm sorry, what Tom Hanks do?
He had a birthday
Good for him.
on the
Lord.
9th. July 13th, 1940. Captain Jean-Luc Picard himself, Patrick Stewart.
I got news about him.
Top geezer.
You got news by him?
They have signed him for Star Trek Discovery. He's coming back as Jean-Luc. Yeah, well, probably they had to do something because people are like, sorry, you want us to pay to watch Star Trek?
I'm still not going to pay to watch it.
No, neither am I. But I'll look forward to it when it hits Netflix.
DVD, Blu-ray, Netflix, whatever, if ever. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, go on.
July 13th, 1942. Space pilot, smuggler, scoundrel turned archaeologist Harrison Ford.
I just watched part 1 and part 2 last night. I would love to see, and I've said this before, and somebody needs to hear me on this, like James Bond, change actors, keep the stories going. They have done dozens and dozens of comic books on this. They have done novels on this character. There is so much more this guy can do. You don't even got to write a damn script. Don't give us the next generation. I don't care about the 1950s. Bring us back to the late 20s, to the late 40s. Got 20-year block. Give us more adventures of Indiana Jones. Recast him like James Bond and move on.
Wasn't that a TV show for a brief?
Yeah.
Young Indiana Jones, which had him from age 9 to 15.
Okay.
The great thing about that, sorry, Kev, I will give you a chance to talk in a second, I promise. The great thing about that is if you buy them on DVD, for every episode, which was almost always a double episode, they gave you a 45-minute documentary on the topic. So if he went to Egypt and investigated the pyramids for whatever reason, they then had a documentary on King Tutankhamun or whatever. What were you trying to say before I wouldn't shut up?
Oh, nothing. There's really. I was just going to tie into what you were saying about like changing actors and new versions of stuff. There is an advert here in the UK. I don't know if you've had the same one in the US or they're different, for Google Assistant or whatever it's called. You know, the latest version of Google's voice interaction thing. And it's the usual crap, you know, someone's eating a pizza going, oh, this is really good, I should tell my mate Dave about that. And it goes, get Google to do it for you. And it goes through a whole series of examples. The last example, it's the guy who plays Finn in Star Wars, looking in the mirror, and he's wearing a tuxedo, and he pulls the James Bond gun look, looks surprised and goes, Google, call my agent. And you know what? People made a massive noise when there was this rumor that Idris Elba was going to be cast to play James Bond.
I heard Denzel Washington
that
also.
Kid,
which, by the way,
kid pulling the James Bond pose, he looked natural for it. It looked right on him. Yeah, I'm just going to throw that shit out there.
I don't think it fucking matters. I think James Bond is an icon, not a certain face, hair color, or whatever. If the person pulls
It
off the role.
depends. It's
Mhm.
like, exactly. It's like everything else. It depends on how much of a purist you are.
Mhm.
There is more to the character of Bond in the books than has been seen in all the movies that they've made. To an extent, it's inevitable. Daniel Craig's Bond I really like, and the reason I like that is he's one of the closest that's come to the actual proper dark bitterness of the real James Bond in the books. He's not this cocktail swigging, happy-go-lucky kind of superhero.
You mean Timothy
He's a
Dalton
dark-
did a closer job to the character than Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, Brosnan wasn't bad, but he always just came across as a bit too smarmy for me. I never really engaged with him because he
Brosnan
always
was What's His Face Part 2. He was Roger Moore Part 2.
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think he was trying to play it like that deliberately, and I don't think it worked for him at all.
And Timothy Dalton got the role because they couldn't get Pierce Brosnan, so they went, write some shit nobody cares about, put it on this guy, we'll get Pierce next after next movie.
Let's not go here because James Bond is one thing we've never really cracked with me, and you'll spend the rest of the show on it. Let's not go there. But I think, yes, it depends on how much of a purist you are at the end of the day, doesn't it? If you really want the character to be portrayed exactly as it was written in the original books, then no, you shouldn't fuck around with it. But at the end of the day, James Bond is an iconic figure. Indiana Jones, people know who these characters are, and they're still going to picture the actors you associate with them the moment you say the
Some
name.
people
It
still
doesn't mean
say
you
Sean
can't cut.
Connery.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't cast
Oh, yeah.
somebody else in that role and have fun with it and keep that genre going, and
Mhm.
keep those stories alive for the old generation or a new generation.
Right. And
We see it with Star Wars. We talked about this the other week.
a few comments. Wynn says, I really like the Young Indiana Jones show. It was actually a bit slow, but still really good. Ian says, Amazon is doing that with John Krasinski as the newest Jack Ryan for the TV series releasing in August. I have never seen any of the Jack Ryan movies, so I will not be upset by this.
You've never seen like Hunt for Red October or
Oh, I
any
guess
of
I
those?
saw that. It's
Yeah.
And by the way, as for Daniel Craig, apparently I'm going to be on the other side of this. I like Daniel Craig, but I grew up with Roger Moore. So I like a slightly lighter, not quite as dark and bitter. And also, I love the gadget. And it felt like with Daniel Craig, they took away the gadgets and the action. It's a great spy flick, but it's not as fun and as light. And that's all I got to say about that. It's not doesn't make it bad movies, obviously not. They've done great, and people like you guys, whose opinion I appreciate, love these. It's not my thing.
I wonder as well if the whole thing with the gadgets with the recent Daniel Craig era is actually a deliberate ploy on the part of the studios, because for so many Bonds, you had the iconic actor in a role of Q. And when he died, that was around about the time they very briefly went with
John Cleese.
Thank you very much. Yeah, but I think really that's deliberate on the part of the studio. I think they've dialed back on the interaction of Q in the movies to allow time for that to pass. So when the Q becomes more pivotal in the films again, as he probably will in future movies, it doesn't feel like an unnatural discontinuation, like a jarring step on.
Because all the gadgets they could think of are actually out there. They're not making something new, and they needed to let technology calm the fuck down before they whip out other things that nobody else can follow, because they're like, look, we have this great gadget. Oh, crap, that's at Walmart. Fuck, what else you got? Okay. The man from Uncle.
I'm still waiting for my iPhone to have an ejector seat fitted to it, though.
One more time, please?
Wouldn't that be great? So I'm still waiting for my iPhone to have an ejector seat fitted to it. But wouldn't that be great if you could just your phone under someone who was annoying? Like,
I'm waiting for James Bond to. I'd like to see them go through time periods. Go back to the '60s, or maybe even go Victorian.
That's a good idea.
Steampunk is so popular now, and just give it a new edge. And then you could go back to the gadgets, and everything can be redone.
Well, Wild Wild West was steampunk. It's a '60s TV show, not necessarily the movie. The movie is fun, also. Don't get me wrong, but the original TV show, that was James Bond in the Old West. That was a steampunk TV series from the '60s, set on.
Yeah, but And let me interject there because I'm sure the love Kevin has for James Bond, which I do love James Bond, I had for Wild Wild West. These actors worked with stuntmen and they just rehearsed those scenes and then they did most of their own stunts, you know? And it was just a love of a show and they really had a lot of camaraderie and it was just really, really fun to watch. And when Wild Wild West came out, I went and saw that movie. Well, did I go see it? God, it was so long ago. It was a very bad disappointment. It was horrible. It was formulaic where there was no joy. There was not even an essence of what was in the original show.
Now, I will venture to say,
think Hollywood screwed up because that could have been a series.
If it had a different title than Wild Wild West, many people would have enjoyed it more.
I didn't even equate it with the show because
I totally separated it from the show. That's the way it was with me. It just got the same name.
Yeah,
kind of like The Hobbit. Okay, who else had a birthday, buddy?
I got personal birthday shout outs. First one goes out to the lawnmower man, Mark Clausen. He's the guy that cuts my lawn. So,
let's talk about him for a half hour. Go.
No, let's not.
Okay,
fellow National Guardsman Thomas Powell. Thomas Powell was a captain in my National Guard unit, and to this day, we're Facebook friends. I see him out and about. I can't help myself. I'll call him sir. I cannot lose that habit, and he just laughs his ass off at me all the time. The most lovely Kim Foley and former workmates David Waldrum and Jeff Duffy. Happy birthday, everybody.
Nice.
Hold on a second. Anybody else got some personal birthdays? Go ahead, Kev.
I got one. Coming up in a couple of days' time, I want to say a happy birthday shout out to a friend of mine, Joshy Adams. Joshy is an absolute fucking legend. He's the bass player in local band Bobbin and the Baby Makers, who are well known. They're a balls to the wall, good time rock and roll band. They go out with one objective, and that's not to make the greatest music you've ever heard. They go out to have a fucking good time every time. They're well known for giving away free shots to people at their gigs, encouraging bad behaviour and toplessness. So all in all, a fucking good band to go and see. And Joshy is he's an absolute nutter, and he's just had the most wonderful news recently that him and his girlfriend Rosie are expecting a baby. So happy birthday, buddy! You're an absolute nutcase, and I love you to bits.
Is this why you always want to take off your shirt, Kevin? Because he encourages it?
Just in case Joshy is looking. Yeah, in the case that I can give him the horn and try and take him away from Rosie. Because frankly, my tits are better looking than hers.
Now, I do want to give a couple shout outs to last Saturday, because we didn't mention these. We mentioned one of the three last week. Saturday was my brother's birthday. He has now turned 48, and he's got the conditioning and health of a 67-year-old. So happy birthday to him. As well as Jamin, as well as Jonathan Grizik, who watches a show for like 3 minutes every 5 weeks. So,
hey Jonathan, happy birthday!
To you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Let's hope it was that 3 minutes.
Glad to hear you're doing better than last week, buddy.
Cheers.
Love
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, thanks for all the postcards, Jamin. Appreciate it. And Jewel, you're a beautiful woman for putting up with that, man. Oh my God. You're a beautiful woman even without him around. Okay. Let's see here. I think anybody say anything? Kennedy begging attention for his French guy Picard thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Victoria likes the new Q. I don't know. What do you think John Cleese says Q? I think he's okay, but I think they got somebody too well known for other
I think you're right. And I think as well, because it was Cleese, everyone expected him to be funny, and because of that, although they didn't try and make him comedic as such, they got him to play Q way too lighthearted.
Yeah, I agree. I think he would have been better going
They tried to pander to what everyone would have expected from John Cleese. I think you're right. I think it was poor casting. As much as I love John Cleese, it just wasn't right for the role of Q. And you're right, too big a name.
Kennedy, hold on a second. Let me find this real quick for you. I got to scroll up in the chat here.
Oh, I just... Which one?
The merchandise, because he mentioned 20 quid is 20 quid. We now have shirts.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Here you go. Go check out this link. Scroll to the bottom of that merchandise, and there are 4 different shirts. about $20. $20 is $20. And a pillow that says, I'm not a sex pillow, but $20 is $20.
I gotta wear that on the subway.
That phrase right there, Travis, if you had any idea how well that actually sums up Josh Adams' life.
Well, because Kennedy says,
I'm
Josh,
not as-
that guy owes
I'm
me
not-
20 quid. And 20 quid is 20 quid.
He's a cuddly chap, Joshy. Unfortunately, he's also quite sweaty a lot of the time. The two don't well.
Well, in
But-
that case, there's a shirt. We have assassin, proctologist, politician, and one other that I can't remember that says, I'm not this thing, but $20 is $20.
Proctologist.
Yeah.
Proctologist,
And the thing just popped
politician,
up
and
for it.
assassin. Uh-huh. Oh, there you go.
So everybody can go check out the merch site with the mugs and the shirts.
Go
It's
over there, so that way somewhere.
And buy shit.
Yeah, buy some shit.
And then take a picture or video of you wearing it,
Hell
saying
yeah.
you get toasted on Talk of the
And by the way,
Tavern.
all of them say, but $20 is $20 at Talk of the Tavern, and they have our little symbol on it. So we are so using you as a billboard. So
Oh,
people go, where?
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
After
Oh,
hours.
I have my name tag, my little badge.
Patch check. Oh, there we go, right there. Ed's got his. I know. See that? Look at that, Kevin. Kevin, you're the only one. You got to buy the drinks if you don't. I like how it fits.
Come on, man. Come on.
It fits
It's here somewhere.
exactly into your.
Yes.
There we go. And Elizabeth, when you held it up, it fit exactly into your little outline on the
Did
screen.
it? Ah, good, man.
Great.
Happening.
I'm just glad I found mine. Buying you guys around wouldn't have been that expensive, but the shipping fees are murder.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and you have something that's on its way to you. So, like you said, you'll get it in 2024.
Yeah, Travis's long tube is coming my way, apparently.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And by the way, I don't know if it's the one I promised you or not. I don't know because
Oh.
I might have to send you another one because the way your setup is, I sent you a vertical one instead of horizontal because I felt like it would fit behind you better.
This is why I said the vertical one, because you could your curtain behind you, just on the top, put some clothespins on top of the curtain.
Drop it right
Yeah,
down behind you. It's but I'll send the other one if you're like, nope, wrong one, Travis. Try again. I'll be like, oh fuck, let's see what else we got.
I tell you what would be even better. Shameless plug here. Don't forget, down below the screen where you see our glorious faces right now, there's these things called wish lists. It's because we're horrible, vain human beings, and there's shit we want that we can't be bothered to pay for with our own money. Now, on my wish list, it's quite cheap. There's an Ethernet cable. I need a longer Ethernet cable so I can plug myself directly into my internet connection rather than connecting by Wi-Fi like I do at the moment. If I do that, I can move from where I normally sit and sit anywhere I like in my lounge or indeed most of my house, which means I can sit somewhere a little bit more interesting than having a plain old curtain behind me. So go down to my wish list and someone buy me an Ethernet cable.
We'll get
He'll
you-
sit in front of his snake tank.
Yeah, buy
I'll
him.
send you a photograph of my tits out.
I mean that.
That's
I-
not going to
you
encourage
do?
people.
Well,
Kevin.
that's
What will you do if
Okay,
England
I'm gonna send-
wins?
I'm going to send
What will you
everybody
do if
who does
England wins?
try and serve drinks fast enough.
Mm,
Kennedy wants to know how long would you like it?
50 feet.
How long would I like it? It's in my wish list down there. I can't remember. I just like 25, 30 foot, something like that. I can't remember. It's in the list. Go and look. Don't ask me technical questions. I worked all that shit out already. That's why there's a list.
He added it so you
Yeah,
don't have
no,
to think again.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. My lifetime demands
Because it's like,
fucking
what,
out
2 a.m. there?
It's actually 2:55.
Yeah, it's almost 3 a.m. He's a little loopy.
Okay, and it's time for another break. Time to get a refill here.
Wow.
Oh, is it that time of... Oh, yeah.
This was This Week in History. We're going to move on with the third hour in a couple minutes here. So here's a break, and we'll be right back. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed and you need to resubscribe, we love you more than everyone else because you do it. So we'll be back in a couple minutes here. Guys, don't forget to watch the camera for the thumbs up.
These to cover my chocolate starfish.
Talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome.
I thought she had a great pair, so I decided to felt them. I gotta show that part. Okay, so here's a product that's popular. It's for real, a little tiger kitty and a little chicken. See, people coming around have to be careful. But I want to just point out that they have that picture in there, right there. And is it just me? Or is that pussy totally devouring that little teeny cock? Because once it decided, yeah, it does.
Pussy illy, put it in Amazon, Texas, Keely, City, Billy, poppin' pilly, smoking like a switch, lick this feeling, mold them, soak 'em, hook 'em like crack.
You know the hardest part of doing these videos is all the little kids that are stalking me here and coming around when I'm trying to say something filthy and horrible. Oh look, it's little live pets. Little live pets. That's so much better than what I had in my day where we had to play with the dead pets. My balls are kind of odd shaped. Here, look.
Shot, and have a drive, this should be outlaw, homie pie.
Pussy.
The illest on the planet, better play your cards right, Mr. Gambit. If you wanna hang here, right, no payment. Never not bad, or lost your bandit. Never not bad, or lost your bandit.
So it's a strap-on unicorn horn for those who are feeling horny, and it's called One Love. What the hell are we selling our little girls? Pirate's booty. That's good shit. Right below it, these nuts. Look. It's Pop Fizz Doodle. I had that once after a heavy night of drinking. PowerCore Max. Performance lining provides ventilation and coverage. Adjustable straps, hook and eye closure for customized fit. Maximum support, boobs. And over here we have Disney princesses for a new lower price, and there's pregnant Ariel. Something fishy about that.
I do it right with drums, understand it. I do it right now, please don't pan it.
That should be good. You know what I really want for lunch?
What?
I really want a big dish of chicken flingers. So I've heard Batman needs Viagra. Check it out.
He's a little floppy.
You know what I want for lunch? I really want a big dish of flamingo poppers.
Once you start, you can't stop popping.
What?
My balls have ears.
You know, I dare. I'm gonna dare you to do something. I dare you to doodle on the floor. Her balls have ears. You know what I really want?
What?
To get a punchable critter. So when I used to be a stripper, this is something I used to be able to do. That's right. Walking World Monster. Musical beads. You know what I really want? A big-headed unicorn.
No.
With toilet paper stuck on its ass. Okay, what'd you find there?
I don't think that's a really good message considering the school shootings.
Ever have an annoying sibling you want to control? So they've re-released Teddy Ruxpin, Donald Trump version.
Skin. Donald Trump skin.
He's got the hair, and then he's got the Cheeto look right here. Musical beads. I see you found the new toy line by Sauron. Musical beads. You know what I really want for lunch? I really want a big dish
A
You know-
big what?
Hey, Kevin. We're back. Nobody else is, though. Oh, wait, I got music. Hold on. Time for the roll call for our late night, inappropriate, slightly intoxicated, and very naughty music hour. This is where the faint of heart swoon, parents put children to bed, and things heat up and get steamy. So pour another drink and strap yourself in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. So, we're back with the third hour. Roll call for... Damn it, stop playing music. Roll call for...
God damn it.
Damn it.
I'm here.
Who else is sticking with us through the third hour? And what do you have? What do you have?
I think I am, regardless of the World Cup, I'm really hoping for France versus England. The return to Agincourt. Dun, dun, dun.
The 100 Years football game.
When was the last time they
The
did?
long bowmen come out.
The last time they beat our ass.
Let's see what happens, So, let me put this down.
Still here.
That's all.
What are you drinking, if anything? If anything.
I went from water, now I'm back to my sweet fire tea.
Yes, you are.
Tea with
I'm
whiskey.
about as here as I ever am at this time of the morning. And as usual, sadly, I'm bereft of alcohol, drinking coffee. I'd just like to reiterate what I said to you in message before I came on the show tonight. I'm definitely not sticking around for all 3 hours, okay?
That's right.
Okay.
Totally understand, man. Totally agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
I'm
really don't-
leaving like any minute now.
Any minute. Any second. Kennedy
I'm
says,
not
if
here.
Kevin were from New York City, he'd be a Mets fan.
He would be a Jets fan.
A Mets fan. Mets.
Jets is funnier.
Oh, okay.
When you're a jet, you stay a jet.
I
You
just
jet
want
all
to
the
see him,
way.
I just want to see him coming at me snapping. That's a Sharks versus Jets.
Yeah, that's where my quote was from. Yeah.
Which they are remaking that, by the way.
Of course they are.
No,
Do you reckon they'll listen this time, Ed?
no.
No.
I
We've
bet-
run out of.
Sorry, I bet
We've run out of original ideas. We're just going to remake everything now. Remakes of remakes.
it will be original. Have one of every nationality and ethnic background in both gangs instead of whites versus Hispanics. You'll have one.
It'll
Oh,
be
the-
everyone versus the
The
whites.
Isle of Wight version: East Cows versus West Cows. Cows, Cowes, by the way, that's the name of two towns either side of the northern point of the river on the island.
I thought you
I'm
meant-
from one.
I thought you meant they were remaking it here, so we'd have East Cows versus West Cows. It's hilarious if you live in Tappahannock. Apparently not funny anywhere else.
So the
Oh
cows
my
with white
God.
spot, the black cows with white spots are going to wage war against the white cows with black spots.
Here you go. Brief history moment. A cow, COWE, was actually a small mounted gun fort at the mouth of a river or estuary used to defend a wider area of sea from incoming invasion. In Britain, anyway. And so when the island was a strategic naval point at the southernmost point of the island, and it protects, but like a natural barrier, the two main ports of Southampton and Portsmouth, which is where all of Britain's navy erupted from when we started sailing the high seas. They built two forts at the northernmost point of the island, either side of the river, East Cow and West Cow, and that's where the two towns get their name from. They just added the S later. And Cows, West Cows, is the home of international yachting. It's where they ran the island race, and that Cows Week, which is one of the major yachting points on the calendar, takes place every year. So for about 10 days, we get inundated with rich, spoilt bastards with yachts who think they own the place.
Damn cows.
That's right.
God damn them. There you go. Brief, boring history moment over and done with. On with the frivolity. Travis, tell us about your porno dreams.
Still talking about history.
I'm sorry, Ed. What else happened this week in history?
This week in Travis's history. We should make that like a 3rd-hour featurette.
So last night,
Got to know them shit.
I had a series of dreams. Now I woke up at like 8. Now I went to bed at 4. So I woke up at 8 and hit the bathroom, headed back to bed, and I realized I had a dream there. Now this dream is awesome fun because apparently Andrew and I agreed it's okay if either one of us has sex with a porn star because it's no different than masturbating. So there was
In
one
your
morning
dream or
in my dream.
In his dream, yeah.
Devnal's still here. Thanos did not ban me. I was hoping, along with the other 600k others, to go away. You know what? It's only talk of the tavern. We might get rid of 6, but not 6k or 600k. So
We wouldn't get rid of you.
no, we wouldn't get rid of Devnal.
We like you.
Too much awesome going on there. So yeah, in this dream, where Andrea and I agreed it's okay to have sex with porn stars because it's not any different than masturbating, there was one time she came home horny after having sex with a porn star, and man, there's just going to be a lot of jizz talk here. Get ready, guys. Yeah, as I entered her, I realized there was still jizz inside of her, and my penis, like a fingertip, could feel it, and just felt it gooey, gushing, and whatnot. And yeah, that was the first set, and then I went...
It's called a cream pie, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
But cream pie
That's
is
one of
actually,
the categories on Pornhub.
cream pie is actually when they eat the cum out of the vagina. That's the pie part of the cream. Yeah, and no offense to anybody who enjoys doing that, it is not on any of my lists anywhere to eat my or anybody else's jizz out of a vagina ever.
What about
Well,
suck it?
there goes my wish list.
Elizabeth, I'm just going to call bullshit on that because I don't think anything sexual with me falls anywhere on your wish list.
I didn't even know you could get that on Amazon.
Now you know.
You really are branching out, Travis.
By the way, Kennedy says, read the other day, your mama's so fat Thanos had to snap his fingers twice. See, I miss your mama jokes. So I went back to sleep.
Oh, that's funny.
I still have not seen Infinity Wars because,
Me neither.
money's very tight right now for me. And the internet keeps giving everything away. Like, enough.
Yeah, it's...
Yep.
I haven't seen it either.
Respect us, poor folk, please. Respect us.
We are not hip to your jive,
Don't
yo.
be spoiling. Don't be spoiling. I'm sorry, Travis.
It's
Please
okay.
continue with your jokes. Words I never thought would be my mouth.
Well,
So
yeah.
I went back to sleep and I woke up and Andrea, what was the second set of dreams about? Because I don't remember now. It's been all day.
Like phlegm in your mouth or something.
No. When I woke up, I had huge
Oh,
phlegm balls. Like my ears felt watery, like they do sometimes. Like you get water in there, but it's thicker than the water. And then I had a huge phlegm ball. But that's when I was awake. And Andrea apparently had phlegm.
Like, so you jizzed in your ears and your mouth and on me. I don't know.
No, there was another series of jizz references in the next set of dreams, and I just woke up this morning going, what the hell? I watched Indiana Jones before going to bed. There was not a lot of jizz involved in Indiana Jones as far as I recall.
Well, and like I told you, what I was watching, you didn't watch, but there was a lot of jizz in it. It wasn't porn. It was, again, that British show called Chewing Gum. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It is freaking hilarious.
We probably just lost all the rest of the viewers now. Hold on a second. Let me check.
It did. They're all
it
gone.
went up. More people came in. Oh, wow.
I did share.
Let's start talking about a little
Again,
jizz.
I hit the shared button again
I did too.
for Twitter. And third hour, inappropriate jizz. You know,
Kevin,
like you do.
do you want to just go ahead and read that out loud?
What, the one that I just posted?
Yes.
Mhm.
Your mama's so fat she put on some BBDs, and by the time they were on, it said Boulevard.
Thank you, Devnal. Devnal just activated football giveaway. for 9 others. So
Yeah.
anybody else who cheers after this will get an extra set of emotes.
Of balls.
And by the way,
You get an extra set of balls.
And if
Everybody, quick, get on there. Throw some bits.
Wait.
Get Devin on
Cheers.
board.
throw 150 bits, and you get a permanent emote of a soccer ball or a football, depending on what country you live in. This one or any other one in the world. So yeah, cheer 150, and you get that. It's,
Fine.
Ah, the strain of it all.
And here's to you, Devin. Oh, I got a limited time emote. Cool footy, nice. I can't cheer. It's like cheer bits, and I click on it. It's like, sorry, can't do that on your own channel. Porn of the Tavern. That's right, Kennedy. It's so yeah.
Tavern Hub.
Hey, there's Daniel. Been
Okay,
wondering
so-
where you were. Daniel, who just followed Talk of the Tavern for the first time today, after he's been on the show like
Yay.
a dozen times.
500 times.
Are you gonna finish your dream?
I'm trying to remember what the second set of dreams
Probably
were.
better if
It
he doesn't.
Probably.
involves sex and jizz, but you know how it is. Like that was how many hours ago? So it's is that a jizz video from YouTube, Kevin? What are you putting up there?
Absolutely. Of course. What else would I post?
Hey, well, this is Handheld Movie Studio.
Cock-a-doodle now.
We have no idea.
Cock-a-doodle did. No, it's the video to Football's Coming Home, which I posted.
Football
ironically.
coming what?
Coming Home.
Oh.
A vajankle.
It's the song everyone in England is singing on every goddamn street corner, even when we're not playing a game at the moment.
That is a great sign, Elizabeth. Are you using crayons? The crayons? Or is it that
I'm
markers?
using marker and a little bit of crayon.
Was that her? I thought that was the sound of my hip as I was moving.
That is great shading. I like the sign. That looks good.
I just wait until eventually we get back to the film, but I'm thinking it's pretty going to happen.
That'll be the year 2024.
Daniel did request. He says, "Oh, movie. I thought this was Handheld movie." So go on, Elizabeth. What?
We got to finish history.
Well,
Two
that
hours
will
later.
take literally forever.
Well, if we can just control ourselves for a moment, I'm sure Ed can get through it.
Have you met us? Hello.
Oh, wow.
Daniel,
Why?
making sure I caught. I thought this was Handheld moves.
Yeah.
Not movies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's been both. You've missed a lot.
But don't do it back and forth. Do it in a curve.
Follow the grain.
Your penis has grain on it?
If you rub it for long enough.
Those are called stretch marks now, aren't they?
You could tell how many times I've masturbated this month by counting the rings.
I told my mother about the vajankle.
Like, you know.
Why would she need one?
Yeah. She doesn't need it, but
Nobody.
she wasn't.
It's not a ring.
She wasn't
Buy one though.
surprised it existed.
That's great.
She might have been a little disappointed I knew about it. She hit it quick.
Thank you, Daniel. Here's to you, man.
You're here.
Uh,
That's funny.
you know, my new cheers are not coming through, and I think it's because I didn't activate it before I turned on OBS. But I have new notifications set up with videos that Andrea helped me find.
Oh, I need to do a shout out for my channel. Everybody needs to follow me. Follow me.
Get a little excited.
You know what? Let me just get that out of the way. This week we have 6 more shows. 3 of Talk of the Tavern. And tomorrow, I think it's just Andrea and I think we're drinking heavily and talking about random shit. I think that's the plan, right?
Like
Are you
tonight.
really going to drink?
I think
Heavily?
I think it
I just had a half a bottle
just-
of wine.
My ears perked up at not just drink, but drink heavily, which is something any
that's
British
nice.
man can get behind.
Well, join us tomorrow, Kevin.
What time?
Yeah.
your time 8 to 11.
Possibly towards the end.
And then we're
Alright.
doing, actually, Kennedy may be joining us tomorrow. We'll see. Because tomorrow on Andrea's channel, we're discussing the new Star Wars game that will take place on Tuesdays, and we're gathering players for that. On Wednesday on Andrea's channel, we are doing what's called Crypto Mysteries. So we're using the White Wolf system, where we're not playing vampires or werewolves, we're playing the hunters, and it's going to be set in a steampunk world. So if you took Cthulhu, blend it with Scooby-Doo, added a dash of Dresden Files of Supernatural, that'll be that game. And
I'm so excited for that.
yes, Victoria, you're correct. I am cumin a lot. Because if I was coming, it'd have 2 M's or a J or something.
Elizabeth, check your Facebook messages.
Oh, God.
Oh, how you doing?
Oh, nice.
Okay. Will do.
Andrea posted a dick pic on her Instagram today.
Was it Nixon or?
Yeah, on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, you got a great dick pic.
One of
So
my
check that.
favorite go-to memes in my most used meme folder is called unsolicited dick pic, and when you open it, it's just a picture of Dick Van Dyke in a candy stripe photo.
Well, do you know what
Oh.
a dick is?
Yeah, it's a small antelope, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's adorable. So I send them to
Do
people.
I win points?
unsolicited
Thank
dick
you.
pic.
Do I win a dick dick? Have you
do.
got a spare dick?
No, you'll feed it to your snake.
I didn't say that.
Huh? Snake.
I did
Oh
not
my
say-
goodness.
I didn't say that.
There is an Australian, I think it's Australian or New Zealand. It's
My-
deck cleaner. You need to watch that commercial for the
It
deck
would be-
cleaner.
It'd be safe anyway. Even my biggest snakes.
I love the Mohawk one. That one was awesome.
Oh, improv Buffy show the other night. Cool. Kennedy says he went and saw an improv Buffy show the other night. It was awesome. Then hung out with the cast in a bar.
There's a bottle of Dick Danger beer. Now, is that the name of the brand, or is it an actual Dick Danger?
Is it whiskey?
Or if you drink too much, your dick is in danger.
I see. You've tasted Isle of Wight beer before.
Oh,
just-
we're not done with history, are we?
I'll have to see if I can ship you some Fuggledy Dum. Dark Real Ale, 8.4%.
Oh, that's pretty strong.
She's a beast.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, she is.
She's a good pint though.
Mhm.
8 to 10 degrees. Optimum service temperature.
What I'm drinking right now is at 8.5%.
Nice. What is it?
Stone Ruination Double IPA 2.0, a liquid poem to the glory of the hop. Let's see, it's somewhere in there.
Nice. I had a beer the other day that I really should have saved the bottle and shown you, thinking about it now. That's only available through the chain that I work for. Green King have been a brewery in the UK for a long time. They've got a big famous brewery, Bury St Edmunds. But what they've done recently is they have a small microbrewery that they've created in the back of one of our pubs in Brixton in London. And it's tiny. It's got like about 8 or 10 students at a time, I think. And what they're doing is they're training the next generation of brewers, those who've shown promise, get to kind of like a finishing school. And each of the brewers gets to make their own beer over the course of their tuition there. And at the end, they taste them all, and the one that wins goes into production for a short term. And I had one the other day, which is this year's winner from the microbrewery, which is a really nice one called Over Easy, which has got a really, really nice zesty. It's citrusy, but it's not lemon citrusy. It's far more like lime. It's got that extra
Nice.
sharp edge of acidity to it, which on the back of a real ale, which is actually quite mellow with kind of caramel notes. is really nice. It's almost like that natural sweet sour kind of perfect pairing of flavorings that you see that chefs try and do in food. You've got that nice caramel sweet note on the front, and then this zesty lime type citrusy finish on the hop end. It's lovely. It's called Over Easy, but I doubt you'll be able to get it anywhere outside the UK.
That reminds me, I had something not the same, similar. On Friday, I showed up a little early for an album release party where there was free beer. And I walked around the block. Right. Yeah, I walked around the block, and I was right by Brooklyn Brewery. So I went in and I bought one beer, and it was the Bon Air Sour, and it was a sour ale, but it was dry hopped. So you're getting that lovely tang, tartness of sour back here, but the rest of the mouth was dry. And you could actually, it was enjoyable. It was wild because your mouth kept trying to twist and then go dry, and then twist and then flatten out dry. But it was a lovely balance, and I was really impressed. I wouldn't want to drink it all night, but it was very good.
I don't know. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I trust you.
For the sake of scientific research, obviously.
Let's see how many is good.
You can be our control group.
And they had a private tasting room that was all air conditioned.
Oh, nice. I saw the other day, I can't remember where it is. I'm sure it's in Sweden somewhere, but I don't know if any of you have seen this before, the H.R. Geiger bar.
Mm-mm.
There's a bar somewhere where they've decorated the whole inside with kind of like biomechanical designs, bone structures, things that are very reminiscent of aliens. So it's almost like being inside an alien set. It's awesome. If you can find pictures of it online, it's been around for a while apparently. I only became aware of it a few days ago. If you can find pictures, it kicks ass.
Where is it?
I'm going to have to Google it now, aren't I? Bear with me a second.
While you're Googling that, I will say this. I am trying to find a way to do a watch together event. This is something people do on Twitch where they watch movies together. And I've seen a few people do it, but I have to figure out how to do it legally without copyright infringement. Yes, Elizabeth?
Well, we could. It's not, I mean, besides the public domain films, we could ask filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure filmmakers would love, especially because a lot of festivals, once your film is a year old, they don't want any part of it. It's bullshit, but here you go. I'm sure, you never know.
There we go.
Especially the really weird ones, or short ones, or long ones.
I do have a list of filmmakers for that already started. Go ahead, Kev.
Cool.
There are actually two, and I've just stuck the link in the chat for anyone who wants to go and check them out. The one that I saw originally was in Gruyere in Switzerland, not in Sweden.
Of course.
But there's also a second one at Chur that I wasn't aware of. They've been open for a while. The original in '92 and the newer one since 2003. But yeah, looks like an awesome place to go and have a beer or 17.
God.
Or as we British like to call it, breakfast.
Quiet down and drink your coffee.
Yeah, all right, rub it in.
Is there more history?
But enough about your dreams.
No, we actually did finish this week in history.
Yeah, we finished. It only took us an hour this week.
Yeah, you did.
Here,
You got it. It's inevitable.
Man.
That I was going to say it's inevitable that anything that you give to Ed is inevitably going to grow to Titanic proportions.
Dirty boy. Slow pitch.
Wow. You got a glass of whiskey. Cheers, you bastard. I wish you well. One thing I'd never be envious of a man for is enjoying whiskey.
Oh, Daniel, did you see the link below for the merchandise? It just scrolled by. I think I still have it here. Let's see here. Nope, that's not it. Let me grab it right here. So Daniel, I'm going to give you this link. Go to the bottom of the page. Take a look at it. Enjoy. Ed is the definition of Dick Danger.
Why do you say danger?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. This is
There's
it
no
we're talking
danger.
about.
Nobody's been killed yet.
They walk with a limp,
Yeah.
but not dead.
Yeah.
It's awful quiet for a talk show.
We're waiting for you to finish filmmaking.
Oh, is it my turn? All right. Sorry. Multitasking. All right. So let's move on to the next one. All right. So I don't suppose anybody experimented with video. We'd love you to post it. Hashtag Talk of the Tavern.
I can't post mine. Sorry.
When you can't. Do you need me to tutor you on how to do that?
No, I know how.
It was
I'm
only a
just saying.
5-minute break. It's a short video.
I'm just saying. Okay. So then we'll move on. Okay. Now you get the hang of that. Putting things together and putting in clips. I discovered Power Director today, and this one's a little more advanced, but same premise. You can take pictures or video, put them together. Only they do give you a timeline to work off. And let me see if I can get this. Okay.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Basically, these are clips here. This is your monitor. This is what the clips are showing. Let me see if I can go up and down, and you can see the clips are changing, which is lovely and delightful. And it's the same idea as the last one. You want to touch your clip to engage it. You're telling the computer what video you want to change. And by this one, you can drag, squish together the video and to where you want it to begin or end. Now, what's really fun is they give you additional options here. So once you choose a clip, we call them clips, short clips of video, you can decide what you want to do with it. You can play with speed of the clip, you can slow it down to slow motion, or increase the speed. And what's really, really fun is you can do it with the audio or take out the audio. So if you increase the speed, you get things like this. Okay.
Chipmunks.
But you don't have to leave the audio in there. You can completely take out the audio. You can put in music. Okay. And they give you options here. Okay. It's so hard. Okay. This is the overall music. This is the clip music. And then you can balance them in between. And you can have your music fade in. You can have your music fade out. So it's a little bit more advanced. It can be somewhat intimidating at first, but you did the Vimeo, and even though the Vimeo is this way, all they're doing is, instead of stacking the clips on top of each other, they're laying them next to each other now. Boom. And you can also you can create your own texts, you can do overlays, and it's really fun the way they do the directions. The overlays look like 2 sheets of paper laying on top of each other. Oop, overlay. Oh, I didn't tell it where I wanted to overlay. You can do texts, you can do dissolves, transitions. I know this isn't perfect, I apologize. We do the best we can. You can. Now this one's a little tricky. You can add credits before or after, whatever you want. You can make this as simple or as complicated as you wish. And there's even special effects where you can do differences of color, exposure, what else? Too much to go over on camera in the 10th hour, the 3rd hour when we're drinking. But the tricky thing is you can save the project, which is always what you want to do. Anytime you make a change, you want to save. Vimeo just saves on its own, but you need to remember if you take anything off your camera that you're using in a project, the project won't recognize it anymore. It won't work. This one is a little better than Vimeo in that you can save the project. But once again, you take the video off the camera. Okay. It does give you an option of producing the video, and they're a little snarky, and that all of these apps, they all want you to purchase the apps. They all want you to spend money. But you can either post it to Facebook, YouTube, the standard. I was sharing them, and then when they ask you to share it, they're going to try to get you to. I don't know if you can say this. They're trying to get me to subscribe, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, you just kind of have to figure your path, but you can save it and share it very easily. I see it's saving it, and I didn't ask it to, so I guess here we go. The tricky thing is, I really hate how everything now is making you subscribe monthly and yearly, because they're getting more and more and more money out of us. I'm not sure how they expect us to live anymore, but I just stick with the free ones, you know, unless you're trying to. I think they even take away Movie Maker off Windows now. They're not doing that one anymore.
About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, they got
Bastards. There's always free ones. There are always free ones online, and you can do one to share and other ones like that, and there'll always be free ones. The biggest thing that I cannot tout enough is, not sure what you're doing. This one does come with a tutorial. Sometimes you get stuck. You get a little quick tutorial you can look at. If you're really stuck, go to YouTube. There's 1,000,001 people out there willing to share, and I recently learned from an 8-year-old kid out of Britain. So,
Elizabeth, what's that one called again? Because Victoria was asking, she was interested. You said
Power Editor.
Power Editor.
Power Director.
Sorry, I got it. Power Director.
And the first one is not Vimeo, it's WeVideo. And I put both links in the chat there. So you guys.
Well done, Travis.
I really like the Power Director. I love playing with speed. I not all the time. I don't always need it sped up, but it is a fun thing to play with. Slow down, speed up. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention is sometimes you get stuck when you change this on this Power Director. When you change the speed on a clip, you need to make sure you have it trimmed exactly where you want it before you change the speed, because once you change the speed, you can't readjust the editing on it. This is one of those bugs, those little things you're going to figure out as you go. And get yourself a stylus. Working with fingers and stylus is a lot easier. And getting precision on these, I can't quite move it and zoom in, is tricky, but you can get pretty close. And you can have a lot of fun with these. So I tout them. They're a lot of. I love these, and we talked about this earlier, because you will never be bored again in life if you start using your phone as a tool and as an expression. And I truly believe the world would be a better place if more people created. I think it's a release. I think it's a release for the artist, and I think that communication and reaching out into the world is a very positive thing. And I think people feel better for it. I do. And I want to encourage everyone. I've taught city kids, up here in New York, how not to be bored in the summer. If you find yourself being bored, grab your phone, make a video about it. Yeah, you never know. You could be the next great YouTuber. That's my short story.
Well done. Thank you. And Victoria's made notes of it. The links are in the chat, everyone. They're linked directly to the Google Play Store, because the regular websites, you have to search for them anyway to find the download links.
If you always post questions, I'll answer any questions.
There we go. And by the way, Victoria did say, oh my God, yes, sick of subscribing, except here. And I will point out, don't forget, if you have Amazon Prime and it's linked to your Twitch account, you can subscribe at no cost to you, and it helps us out. So here's to the folks that do that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whoop, whoop.
And by the way, Daniel did say, take out the audio. I do that when Travis talks. Yes, Daniel, we know. We remember having to repeat things 3 times when gaming with you. We know. It's,
well, sometimes you want the visual to tell the story and not the audio. And
absolutely.
sometimes they mesh, and it's not working.
What were you saying,
I was going to say, I thought attention should also be brought to Lady Skipper's amazing comment earlier that got overlooked in the chat when I was talking about the Geiger bar, and she said, "What's the official title of the person whose job was to catalog everything?" The Geiger counter.
There's some questions. Victoria asked, "How well did they download to YouTube?"
I don't know. They uploaded to Messenger really well. You guys got it, and I think it was not even 30 seconds.
Mhm.
I think one had a bug, and no, that was my fault. No, really well.
All the videos I got from you worked, so you just sent one twice.
That was
So, to answer that question, Victoria, I don't know. Try it and let us
Try
know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice, I don't think there's a watermark on the Power Director, though.
Nice.
Mm.
Nice. Well, you said they offer you the option at the end, correct? So you could choose not to have that watermark.
I-
Or you
Well, yeah,
I
Wii
love the-
Video has it. So
I love the fact that all the poster areas in my bar where we use for advertising things like upcoming bands and stuff, which I make all the posters in house for those because it's just cheaper. I'm only printing half a dozen, so I just and I love the fact that, those frames that clip in from the sides like that.
Yeah.
It's those, and the reason I love the fact that it's those is when you clip the bottom one up, it goes over the watermark at the bottom that tells you which free online program I use to make all the post posters.
there's always a way around, isn't there?
Yeah, shout out to all the people at postermywall.com.
So that's just it in a nutshell. I didn't want to spend a whole hour. I could do hours and hours and hours on this. The biggest thing is, like I said, just you're gonna make video. Hold your camera steady. Slow down. You don't need to. And I learned this recently in New York. If you have a tripod, you need a film permit. If you handhold it, you don't.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's good.
So, Ed, you can't film videos there.
Yeah, not in New York, I guess.
Where there's a will, there's a way, Ed.
Just got to hand the camera to someone else.
Can they hold the tripod while I film?
I'm not saying nothing.
Victoria says sometimes when I do iMovie it takes forever, other times a couple of minutes. If you mean the upload to YouTube, I can only assume that all is based on your reception at the moment, your
Right.
Wi-Fi or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, please remember, if you're doing HD is an enormous amount of data. Enormous. And if you're doing the high quality HD video to YouTube, yeah, it's going to take a while. If you can compress it, the ones I shared, I just made them second to the best, second from the worst quality. It's just going on the internet. It's not a big deal. It's not a real film. When I'm doing a film festival, when I compress a 19-minute film, it takes 8 hours, sometimes 12. When I'm just throwing it on YouTube, it takes maybe 10 minutes because it's a smaller compression. It's fitting on a smaller screen. Remember that. Don't get fooled into it has to be the highest quality. How big are we talking?
Oh my God, Kennedy says, if Elizabeth needs a monopole, I may be available. Is that wrong? And then he says, if it's too big, I can compress it.
It's all about render, baby.
Um,
If your screen is 30 feet by 100 feet, yeah, you need the highest compression you can get. If it's a foot by 2 feet, no, don't worry.
Victoria asked, what about a selfie stick?
It's not a tripod. It's not. I think it is. It's a freestanding structure that's going to inhibit the flow of traffic. Selfie stick. Although annoying. Have you seen that comedian that runs around with hedge clippers, and he runs up to people with a selfie stick and he clips their stick and the phone falls and then he takes off. And his cohort is hiding in the bushes or across the street.
That's horrible because phones are like thousands of dollars now.
Don't be
That's an asshole move. He needs to come on here and talk about it.
I have been on the subway and been a victim of a selfie stick asshole, and it's not. They're so absorbed into their angle, and they slam into you,
Yeah.
and then I remember at one point she turned to me and said, "You're in my selfie." And I said, "Don't you mean we're in your selfie?"
Ba-da-bum.
And then I said, "Don't worry, you can look at this picture years from now and remember me as that annoying woman on the train." "I don't think you're annoying." And I said, "Well, you just gotten to know me. You haven't given me time."
Yes, Elizabeth. You're definitely part British, I'm sure. Best kind of insult is the insult you deliver when they just look at you blankly because they don't understand it.
Her
I
chaperone
heard a wonderful phrase once, and it's always stuck in my head. Sarcasm, but chasm is spelt with a CH, and it's the gap between the wit you've just used to insult someone and their lack of understanding of it. He gazed at me blankly across the sarcasm.
This sarcasm is the only defense we have against the weapons of reason and logic.
I'm going to have to get another beer for the closing toast. I finished my second one.
We need to share. Everyone needs to share.
Beer? Pass it over.
The button. Oh, nice tap.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Cat tease. Cat tease.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. I toast you, but I'm empty. And I have a cat on my lap. I can't even get up to get another beer.
I have a sip of coffee left. I'll toast him on your behalf.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Here.
Which is the official sound of British politics.
I just sent
Has
everyone
anyone
that message about
Has anyone ever watched the British Parliament in session?
I fell asleep to it once.
Yeah. That is the sound that they make when they agree with something. It's whoa, 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 whoa. It's just this animal grunting of the horrendously privileged 1% upper classes.
One of my favorite shows was Spitting Image.
I miss Spitting Image. That was such a good show.
Oh,
There's a generation of people who've never understood the glory of the chicken song.
You know,
I could still sing that whole thing from start to finish. I'm not going to. I'm not drunk. Next time I'm drunk, ask me. I will totally do it.
Tomorrow, you have an opportunity. The three of us will be getting drunk.
Oh, are you going to be on Thursday?
No, let's not do that.
Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday was supposed to be Geeky Educators, and it seems that all of our Geeky Educators have other plans or have an obstacle where they cannot be on, except for perhaps Elizabeth. So if you want to join us Wednesday, Elizabeth, which you originally planned to do, we could just talk about geeky educating our way.
Okay. Speaking of which, and I'll bring it up in the show, I met an attorney at the Yankees game. She was delightful.
Mm-hmm.
She was very liberal, and we started talking about, what do you do? What do you do? What do we do? And I told her, of course, I did the old, I said, I hate how my company won't let me correct students' grammar. And she said, well, why not? I said, because it's considered racist. And she could not believe it. And she went off on a tangent about how you're limiting these students' knowledge. And I thought, here are two people with opposing political views. We're having a delightful conversation, but we can agree on this important thing of knowledge, of just becoming better. And I thought, a friend of mine used to say the gorilla's riding the horse. And he would say that when something absurd would happen. And that's kind of what we're trying to recover right now, is the gorillas have been riding the horses and leading the charge. And we're trying to get control of everything again.
Well, it's very similar to your conversation with Tara last week, where you two are very politically opposed, but you had an intelligent conversation back and forth where you found many points to agree upon. It's not that hard to do, people. It really isn't. I don't think any of us are, or I should say most of us aren't so head up our ass that we can't see there's a compromise that is reasonable in almost every case.
Well, I think a lot of it too is, I think you have to find that similarity, and you have to, when they're telling you something, even if you don't agree, find something in it that you do, and that makes you shut your own ego off and listen to them.
You do. Okay, cat's off me. I'm going to go get another beer for the closing toast. I'll be right back.
Run.
Excuse me.
I could have gotten
Did you eat coffee, Kev, or just water?
What I need is to probably smoke less.
See, since you're not going to be here the whole 3 hours, are you leaving now?
Well, no, I'm going to leave it to the last minute. I'm going to dip out like 60 seconds for you guys. Just a sudden bird flip and gone. Hey, what's hung like a horse and hangs up? Click.
He has returned.
You bring out the worst in me every week. I'm like, no, I can't do 3 hours. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm work all day tomorrow. No sane man would stay up until 4 a.m.
Well, it's a good thing you're not.
Good goddamn job. I'm not saying.
Oh. Are you still working on the board, Elizabeth?
A little bit. I need to do the date.
I was going to say, you should show everyone.
Did anybody read these comments?
There you go.
No, I'm heading there now.
It's my titty.
That's
a little.
Don't do that to a chicken. I'll do whatever I like to a chicken. I paid for it. It's my goddamn chicken.
It's upside down, but that's just where it is right now. Yes.
That's great.
I'm taking a break, resting my back.
Besides, if you look up the full lyrics to the song, which those are actually lyrics from, trust me, the chicken is held in the air. It gets the easy part of the deal. That's all I'm saying. If you're not familiar with the song, then check it out. It's my gift to you tonight. It's the chicken song.
Does everybody remember Genesis? And they did a video with puppets.
Yeah.
Oh, I love their videos.
World of Confusion.
This is the company that.
Yep.
Land of Confusion.
Land of Confusion. Thank you.
Spitting Image was those creators. They did those puppets, and they would do it off of politicians of Britain and stars. And
by the way,
Margaret Thatcher.
The way Ed is sitting right now, he looks like the poster from 40-Year Virgin or 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Who?
Oh my God!
You blatantly saw a very different version of that movie to me.
I don't know how many times I've actually seen Ed wear a polo shirt.
That was what you were basically.
Then stare longingly off into the distance with a wistful look on his face.
You guys are here, and everybody else is here. It's kind of like you, Travis, but I only have one camera. So
look at all those desks Ed has. That's amazing.
Their workstations.
That's a little office.
That is so cool.
I'm drinking
They're the
Ripper
desks
now, by the way.
you used to build desks on.
That's right.
See, Elizabeth, when you come down, you can visit him in his hot tub and see the desk. You can see his desk.
It's just a tub until Ed gets in it.
And by the way, Victoria, I'll read these off for you there. Victoria says, when I'm up at 4 a.m., usually other things are up as well. And she also says,
yeah, I am.
Looking good, Ed.
For every show.
Yeah, by the way, John, I agree. Indeed, finding something in common versus what is wrong. John made a comment earlier, too. I don't think it got read off. What was that?
It's important. You got to keep the conversation going.
It was about Ed in New York with a tripod. John said, be careful,
Watch out
Ed.
for the Yanks.
They're called Yanks.
Bronx Bruising, baby.
And John sent one of the games on my channel.
On Thursday. The superhero game.
Yeah, he is.
Thursday's a swimsuit episode, so be sure to follow the channel and check it out.
Oh, I can't believe we're gonna do that.
Thursday at 8. Okay, let me put that on my calendar.
I might just wear brown panties. It's a swimsuit.
Me too.
I thought you didn't swim with anything on.
I don't, but in a public pool,
Well, there
you
you
kind
go.
of have to.
Is it obligatory for people watching as well? Because I'm going to be at work. That could be awkward.
Yet awesome.
Just make
Have
sure
you
to take a
guys on my
video of
phone on Twitch in the office and just be running in and out, running people's food in a Borat mankini?
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Sivart, the Sivart risotto is nice, yes?
Your swimsuit.
Yeah. You like very
Lambs?
much. I like your wife. How much for your wife? Your wife, she's for sale?
Oh.
John's like, what? Oh yeah.
Good
Sorry, John.
photos,
Welcome to the
wink,
group.
wink, nudge,
You
nudge.
wanted to play.
Oh,
No nipples.
so when you do that, just cover it, you know.
There we go. Oh man,
Oh my goodness. So are we gonna raid someone tonight?
we are. They
Who,
started the
who
fifth,
deserves it?
they started the Fifth Doctor on Twitch Presents,
Yeah.
which seems to be a lot of people's favorite Doctor.
Who's the fifth one?
The guy that's on the videos right now.
Oh, I'm not paying attention
I
to
don't know.
that.
He's the one that's always at cons.
Is he?
He's also been in a few other things. Oh, you know what? Let me just Google this.
That guy.
I never remember what number is what.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
I also like a fifth now and again, yeah.
Peter Davison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's and let me find him on IMDb because
He was in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was in a very popular British TV veterinary series set in the Yorkshire Dales called All Creatures Great and Small.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Played
It-
Tristan in that.
He also.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, what else was he in recently?
A lot of conventions, apparently.
Yeah, well, a lot of conventions. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He
he goes
was at
around a lot.
MarsCon a few years back, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
he's a Time Lord. He can get around, can't he?
Yeah.
Ah,
You reckon
yeah,
that's how the
right.
Doctor afforded the TARDIS? And like, he's just used it to go around the convention circuit for hundreds of years, absolutely rinsing the money.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You know, if the fans enjoy it and they have a good time, go on. Go on. Nope, I'm wrong. He wasn't.
Oh,
thought he
I got a message. I got an email. Devin followed my channel. Thank you.
Oh, well done, Devon.
Yeah, look at you.
With the celery, the pedal, yes, yeah.
It might be tabletop gaming, but it's in the same spirit of Talk of the Tavern, where we're just a little silly and whatnot.
We have dice. It's this with dice.
Kind of.
Not much spooge.
John,
Not much.
Don't click that.
No
Just
clam
an
sauce.
average amount.
John says, no child wants to see me in one. I assume you mean the mankini. So I'm guessing that must mean there's a lot of adults that do want to see you in one.
That's what Skiggy wears. Banana hammock.
That is what Skiggy wears.
jeez, look at that.
And Elizabeth did this
Oh.
wonderful photo of it. Or a picture,
yes.
hand-drawn picture, and colored it.
Mm.
And it
She
looks
drew
wonderful.
it. Hold on. I'm going to find it.
It's-
I'm going to
it's-
find it. I have it.
I did it during a game. What game was
It is
that?
like the greatest picture in the world. I need to
Oh,
hang
it's-
this on my wall.
It's not the greatest picture.
It is the greatest picture in the world. Look at that.
That is, it's a wonderful picture. I really look forward to bringing in a couple NPCs because I just want
Oh,
Elizabeth
dang
to
it.
draw one of the damn characters that I have. It's
Oh
one
my
of my biggest
God.
drives
Okay,
to bring
I
in
have
an
to-
NPC.
I said you had to. It was a moderator thing. Victoria thought. She says, "I swear, I thought Andrea said dykes."
Well, I mean,
No.
it's just a totally safe and sound.
Hold on, wait, what? Kennedy says you realize that now being cast in Nerdum is profitable going forward. Yeah, well, all of us here on Talk of the Tavern are still waiting for the profitable part of Nerdum.
Any second
Yeah.
now.
Any moment, it's gonna happen. Here we go. Is that it? Nope, wasn't it. Hold on.
Was that? I
Missed
think
it.
it happened in the outbreak earlier.
I keep applying for these jobs. I apply for anything, writer, content editor, producer. And a lot of these writing jobs are like for BuzzFeed.
Oh, yeah.
All these internet sites. And I keep thinking, come on. I mean, how good of a writer do you have to be to be on these? Oh.
Daniel just proved the point. He says profit incoming, then he cheered 100.
You're here. That's like $1.
Hey, I don't say no to $1.
Mm-mm.
$20 is
$1
$20.
is $1.
I was walking through the subway thinking, because there's this guy who plays the little Chinese. Whatever. It's really annoying. It's very loud. And I thought about throwing a hat down and seeing what I could make.
Ian, have a great night, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
Later, Ian.
Elizabeth, do you mean the big long thing that they saw like a bow, kind of like a violin?
Sounds like a dying
Sam
hat.
said.
Yeah.
There you go. Useless knowledge to the fore.
What if I pop and lock Nick to, put my hat out and sing a few songs? Shit, I bet you that guy racks up the money, man.
Why not?
It's lovely, it's delightful when you're eating. When you're in a subway where it's very echoey, certain frequencies are very piercing. And that is one of them.
Not a lot of bagpipes on the subway, is there? For a reason.
There are, every once in a while, though.
You've
It was
clearly
Grand
never
Central.
been to Edinburgh.
Countess is out of here. Gotta go. Art to be
Good night,
delivered and
Victoria.
coming tomorrow. Hey, wait a minute. I think art is
Is that what you
euphemism.
call it now?
It could be.
Night,
Let's do
Victoria.
a closing toast. Really, here's. Oh, thank you, Skipper. Oh, thank you, Skipper. Appreciate that. Here's that. Closing toast for everyone. Really, here's to education and laughing all the way through it for 3 hours. Thank you.
Drink to
Thank
that.
you. Mm-hmm. Ed is looking for a wine glass there, Ed.
Mhm.
What is that? Like a beaker of some sort?
It's colonial glass.
That's not
Nice.
That's nice. So it's okay to drink wine out of that instead of the regular wine glass?
Yeah, I can drink wine out of this, and it can be whatever fucking wine, and I don't have to buy glasses of different sizes and shit.
I like that concept. It's Okay, we've got 2 minutes left, or a little bit less, folks. We're going to raid somebody that, frankly, with the hours worth of work after each show I have to do, I'm raiding somebody I don't got to talk to because. So, hang out for Doctor Who. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. for us. And then on Andrea's channel from 8 till whenever we end for gaming. We're setting up 2 games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday we will be doing the beach going. What are you giggling about, Elizabeth?
One of my favorite memes, I forgot to mention that one time, is when the cat, they put a toothbrush in a cat's mouth, and he has this look on his face, and then the Doctor Who sound and background appear behind him.
Thanks for joining us in the discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.